want to be here.
Yeah.
He was here. If you were here, you would have no control. Mm-hmm. Here, this wrist took everything. Yeah. God damn. You like this? Hotep and Grift.
Kanye on that drum. All right, so welcome back to Sunday's Corner, everybody. How you doing, sis? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming through. If it seems like, oh, she's not even giving these people intros. No, I don't give them intros. I let them speak for them damn selves.
I thought my plight in life was about saving the world until I realized I didn't have the skills or the tools to save myself.
Yep. If you're not activating now, then what are you doing? Wasting my time, wasting your time. So let's go. Until next week.
Welcome. Her name is Kim Clayson. Clap it up for Kim Clayson. I love it. Kim Clayson, ladies and gentlemen. There she is.
It does look good. We are going to be flipping seats. Like I said, a lot of the states did go through redistricting. Maryland was one of them, Florida, New Jersey. So we'll be flipping a lot of seats in really good areas.
Sonny Johnson.
Oh, is it on? Like, it ain't like I'm not loud enough. I can't hear it. You know, I can be loud without you saying. And that, you know, before that, I was always like, I'm Hotep adjacent. You know, I would always say that. But when you got to that point, when I was like, okay, now it's Hotep.
What point did
Hotep Bill. The point where when you hit the realization that it's not about necessarily winning the argument or fighting with the left or fighting with, you know what I'm saying? No, it's not about that. Now, I'm going to create the platform where you can find the content.
These last 5 years of my life have been absolutely amazing, and Chad has been a mentor and helped shape my brain. So they call me a radical. I've been radicalized by Chad. You can blame him. He's the one that turned me into an anarchist.
Who's the bigger black supremacy? Talking about you guys.
The person who made sure we were government compliant and made us a non-profit organization officially. Shout out to Trish. Did an amazing job helping me out. I really appreciate her. Shout out to Crypto Wendy for coming out. Thank you, Crypto. Wendy, shout out to Syscoin, our sponsor. You know, shout out to Brody McFarland.
Secret Service, my handler. Take a picture of that reparation. Huh? Arrogant like a mother.
I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there, you understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
Two, one, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
What's up, people? Welcome to the Grift Report. It's Hotep Thursday. That means we getting busy tonight with Uncle Hotep Pause at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure y'all here. We live on Rumble and YouTube daily at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the Grift Report. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What up, chat? J.A. in the building, as always. J.A., I appreciate you, man, for being one of those consistent people that consistently watch the show. You coming to HotepCon, right? Can't wait to meet you all. HJ, start calling out Nick Cannon for never releasing the Nipsey's movie. I'm not gonna do that. Mostly because I don't know what the details are surrounding that. And it's just like, for what? For what? Yeah, I took my Master Focus. You said you took your Master Focus? Okay. And ready for class today? Dope. Let's go. I don't know if I got any rants in me. They're usually not pre-planned. They're all organic. Depends on the topic and how I feel at the time. You know? I got my bucks today. I got my Starbucks today. Sent another email out to Hotep Con ticket holders. So Hotep Con ticket holders, yeah, I sent another email out. This time for you to download the Pally wallet so you could, because we're going to have game night next week. And part of game night is going to be winning cryptocurrency. And then, you know, bringing you into that space, bringing you into the cryptocurrency space. But before we dive into today's show, I need a little something to get me in the mood. Yeah, I know what time it is.
Hey, buddy, what you cooking?
Step one, get into the word and get out the zoo. Step two, kill your old self and become new. Step three, turn from all the sinning that you used to do. Step four, tell the whole squad they can do it too. Christ walk, step, hey, Christ walk, step, step. And soon you gon' have to put the meal down and get some meat. Preacher sound good when you a baby Christ, that ain't that sweet. Easy being Christian on the net, but what about in them streets? We at war with all these evil rulers. Are you down for beef? You gon' get persecuted by the world, even by your friends. It's gon' be the closest people to you. You thought that's your man, devil working. He gon' push the limit to see where you stand, especially when you have a weak moment. He know that's his chance, but you down to lose for the kingdom. You might lose your bands. I mean, look at me as an example. I done lost my fans. All these demons trying to to bring you down any way they can. Are you gonna endure it to the end? Tell me what's your plan. Step 1, get into the word and get out the zoo. Step 2, kill your old self and become new. Step 3, turn from all the sinning that you used to do. Step 4, tell the whole squad they can do it too. Christ walk, step, hey, Christ walk, step.
At this point, it's like common sense that he coming. So I ain't even really Christ walking, I'm running. From all of my sins, I'm making amends with all of the people I dislike. Because if I don't, then I'ma go down with the ones I dislike. Down with the wicked. Down and conflicted. Tell me, why would I ever risk it? This new life, why would I end it? I gave God my dependence. After he left his imprint, it was all switched in an instant. When I was transformed from a misfit, I gotta follow the covenant and get it right before he come again. On fire for Christ, I'm bubbling. Don't touch unless you got an oven mitt. Left everyone I was in trouble with. When I sacrificed it, he doubled it. I don't put faith in no other men. Yahweh is my only government. I'm the light child.
Step 1, get into the word and get out the zoo. Step 2, kill your old self and become new. Step 3, turn from all the sinning that you used to do. Step 4, tell the whole squad they can do it too. Christ walk, step.
Christ Walk by Bryson Gray. Couple of questions here. So Robert question mark says he couldn't find the actual link to get the wallet. Hey, bro, just go to pallywallet.com and hit the download button. It's right there. Go to the Pally Wallet link, pallywallet.com, I think it is. Or just type in Pally Wallet on Google. Or type in Pally Wallet on your app store, and it'll be right there. Goldstein says, how does one have a song called Christ Walk but never once say the name Jesus in it? Well, technically they did say his name. He called him Yahweh, which is actually his real name. Damn, we're gonna start off with the history lesson already today. All right, let's dive into the history lesson of Jesus' name. In order to do this, you must have some knowledge of the Hebrew alphabet. So we'll go Yod, He, Vav, He. Here we go. So we got Yod, He, Vav, He. And the best way to probably look at this is the Hebrew alphabet. There we go. And you'll see right here, it reads right to left. So you'll read it right to left and not left to right like we do it. So it's Yod, He, Vav, He, which would be Yahweh or Yahweh. The issue is, especially in German, the W is pronounced with a V sound. So some people will pronounce the W with a W sound and not a V sound. And I've spoken about this in the past too. When you start dealing with the Hebrew alphabet, you're also dealing with numbers. So let's type in Yod He Vav He and then Tetragrammaton. Actually, it's right here on the screen. So you have the Tetragrammaton, which has this whole numerical sequence. All right, so we're on Wiki now. Let's see what it says here. Let's see what Wiki says about the Tetragrammaton. So you got the Tetragrammaton, as you can see here, Yod He Vav He. It's got the etymology breakdown here. I haven't studied this in years. I got to refresh this. I actually have this Esoteric magazine in physical copy upstairs somewhere that I studied this from. But maybe I can find something similar online. But I think this is probably the best thing to look at. All right. It shows the numerical values and how this, I forget how this sequence works or whatever, but this is some gematria. I don't like going by the gematria though. There's a different numerical meaning here. Oh man, what was that? It's actually the Tetragrammaton, and then there's another one that's similar to it. I have to get that at a later date. I can't recall. Like I said, I haven't studied that in years. But anyway, well, let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's go back to the wiki, right? So what does wiki say about the tetragrammaton? So it says here tetragrammaton is from ancient Greek, or the tetragram is the four-letter Hebrew theonym, proper name of a deity. So this is the proper name. A theonym is the proper name of a deity. Learning something new here, right along with y'all. The name of God in the Hebrew Bible. The four letters written and read from right to left in Hebrew are Yod, He, Vav, He. The name may be derived from a verb that means to be or to exist or to cause to become, to come to pass. While there is no consensus about the structure and etymology of the name, the form Yahweh or Yahweh is now accepted almost universally, though the vocalization Yehovah continues to have wide usage. The books of the Torah and the rest of the Hebrew Bible, except Esther, Ecclesiastes, Songs, Hebrew name, observant Jews, and those who follow Talmudic Jewish traditions do not pronounce Yahweh, nor do they read aloud proposed transcription forms such as Yahweh or Yehovah. Instead, they replace it with a different term, whether in addressing or referring to the God of Israel. Common substitutions in the Hebrew are Adonai. That's what it was. It was Adonai. That's the other one. I'll find this. This is really cool. Breakdown of Adonai and tetragrammaton and all these other things. But this actually, anyway, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because we got to get to the Grift Report. But let me see. I might be able to hold on. I might be able to find a digital version. Here we go. All right, hold on. I might be able to bring it up on the screen. All right, hold on. Oh man, it's like a dozen volumes of this thing. I think it's in which one of these? Was it in Kabbalah? I think it was in Kabbalah. Let's see if it's in here. Hold on. I think it's in the Kabbalah Digest. Legend of the Lost Word, Sefer Yetzirah. Hold on, I'm gonna find it for you. I got all types of fucking documentation I done read over the years that I done forgot about. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, I think I found it. I'm about to fuck y'all heads up. I might not even show this. I don't even, should I show this? I don't know if I should show this. This shit could get me canceled. I might just show one page. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Oh yeah. Adonai and Tetragrammaton are part of the Kabbalah. That's right. These are parts of the Kabbalah. Let me check on chat because I know somebody in the chat's like screaming at me like, Hotep, this is Kabbalah. Let me see. What's the chat talking about? Yeshua is Jesus. The letter J came much later. Right. Indeed. 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 Oh, I found it. I found it. All right. I'm gonna have to do a bit of reading here. And as I'm reading, it'll get pretty detailed. All right. So consider yourselves privileged to see this information about to put on your screen. All right. You are a group of privileged individuals. I normally don't share this with anyone, but you guys are good to me. So fuck it. Since Goldstein brought this up, let's dive into it. All right. So here we have Rosicrucian Digest number 2, 2012 version. And as you see here, it has the Kabbalah. And it says here, each of the 10 Sephiroth symbolizes the manifestation of divinity on a different level in the sequence of emanations, and each Sephirah carries a different divine name. The divine name associated with the Tiferet is the Tetragrammaton, composed of the 4 Hebrew letters Yod He Vav He, usually rendered in English as Yod He Vav He, or YHVH. The divine name associated with Malkut is Adonai, composed of the 4 Hebrew letters Aleph, Dalet, Nun, and Yod. Uniting these 2 divine names with properly focused intention, Kavana, liturgically unites Tiferet with Malkut, and the holy blessed be he with Shekinah. Okay. Interesting that we played Bryson Gray earlier. I think this is his fiance's name, Shekinah. So let's continue here. So she has a very Hebrewish name, biblical name. One way to unite the names Yahweh and Adonai is to unite or add together their numerical values. This is what I was talking about before, the numerical values. Each letter of the Hebrew alphabet is also a number, and each word has a number value equal to the sum of its letters. In the Kabbalistic system of gematria, okay, so it is gematria. Any 2 words or phrases that have the same number value share a deep connection and are in some way equivalent. Okay, that's what I was saying was the link between Yahweh and Adonai is the numerical value situation. Okay, so the numerical value of Yahweh is 26. Numerical value of Adonai is 65. Uniting these 2 names yields the sum of 91. The letters of the Hebrew word Amen, Aleph, Mem, and Nun also add up to 91. Being aware of this numerical equivalence, whenever one says Amen at the end of a prayer, blessing using the proper kavana or intention, one is mentally uniting the divine names Yahweh and Adonai, and liturgically uniting the Holy One and his Shekinah. And then here they have the breakdown of the Tetragrammaton, 26, Adonai, 65, add them up, Amen, 91, Okay. So then this is the other one I was trying to think of, was the Pentagrammaton. In Christian Kabbalah, and I know it's like Christians have logged out. They're like, oh my God, they're talking about the devil. Or I don't know how y'all view this shit, but I just study history. In Christian Kabbalah, the Hebrew letter Shin is inserted into the middle of the Tetragrammaton to produce a 5-letter name, Yod He Shin Vav He, which is a variant spelling of Jesus' Hebrew name, Yeshua. Okay, so that's where you get Yeshua from. Alternatively pronounced Yeshua or Yehoshua. This 5-letter name is called the Pentagrammaton. So that's what I was talking about before. I was like, it's a Tetragrammaton is another one. Okay, so the other one was the Pentagrammaton. Already penta means 5, so it's 5 letters. And it is considered to be Jesus' secret name, the wonder-working word. Shin is the first letter of the Hebrew word Shekinah, and could therefore be used to symbolically represent the Shekinah. The shape of the letter Shin also represents an altar with 3 lit candles. And y'all see Shin right here. Right here you see Shin. It's got the 3 lit candles on it. All right. So combining Shin with Yahweh to form the Kabbalistic name of Jesus, Yeshua, should therefore be seen as another way to represent the unification of Tiferet and Malkut, the Holy One. All right, so that's it. That's all I'm going to give y'all. All right, that's all I'm going to give y'all for right now. Y'all could use that as a launch pad for your more studies. Let's see what okay, so Jabari knows this stuff really well. He says, Adonai, Hashem, El Shaddai, and Elohim are all interchangeable for Yahweh. Yes. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Good, good, good. All right, so we all caught up on the chat. Let me check over on Rumble people, my Rumble people. Kay said, "HJ, don't make me call in because you're messing up the pronunciations." I know I'm probably destroying those pronunciations. I apologize, love. I apologize. She gonna call in and cuss me out. How does one probably? All right, so Goldstein, there you go. When you call in, we could talk about that, But I just want to add a little bit of education on there before we dive into the port. Today, like I said, it's Hotep Thursday. Welcome. We're gonna be here. We got a quick bag today. I don't want to hold up too much time because I'm gonna be here twice today. Shout out to Leah. One of my wonderful white handlers. All right, let's go into the bag real quick. Let's do an update. So the Lil Tay situation has taken a bit turn. And I told you guys yesterday when I first saw the story, I thought it was a hoax because, everything about this little girl's career has been pretty much a front. So I thought that her death was a front too, some way to go viral. Now they're saying Lil Tay's YouTube bio has been updated to help me. And then other details have come forward. Like one dude, somebody went on his Instagram account, said he had some recollection of the events and said there was a car accident and some sort of texting. And then they got into an accident, texting while driving. Then a dude comes back later and says, no, that's not true. And I fired the guy or removed him from my account, from posting from my account. I don't know what's going on. So the Lil Tay situation is still a mystery, but she's a very little girl, and I just wish her the best, Some people are speculating that her father is abusing her or something like that. I don't know, some Joe Jackson situation. I don't know what's going on here. But I pray for peace in that little girl's life. I really do. All right, let's get this out of my bag. I don't even want to look at this anymore. All right. What else we got here? Let's get this out the way. This is a little bit of an old news. So, big tech is coming together. Big tech and I guess we should call it big tech and big music, big media. So big tech and big media, Google, Universal Music Group, right? In fact, I have a better list. Because Warner's in there too. But Google's the one that's handling the AI technology. Here we go. Google, Warner, Universal. So basically what they want to do is they want to license artist voices to create AI generated songs. So Google has the technology, Warner, Universal, and others probably. Basically what they want to do is just take your favorite artists and then license their voice, use AI to create songs. So they don't even need the artist to produce any more music. And so in that case, you would just need some writers to come together and record your next hit and then release it. I think the primary application of this is going to be film, when they need music for movies and things like commercials. So that's where a lot of the licensing happens, in commercials and movies, right? And other applications, but that's mostly where the big checks come from, right? So the biggest issue for artists right now, I think, is new artists, right? Like new artists are going to have to take a very hard look at their contracts, because what may happen is the record company may sneak a line item in there and basically say, hey, look, we will reproduce music with or without you using AI, and you will receive none of that or some of that, or, insignificant portion or whatever that may be, right? So for new artists, this is going to be frightening. For old artists, this may be good news, right? In some way, if your contracts are set up properly and you and the licensing, the splits, like what those splits look like, are going to matter, obviously. But imagine being, you know, one of these, I don't want to use the term irrelevant or has-beens. Let's just say inactive, some inactive artists. You know, they sit on the couch and collect an additional revenue. What if the record company says, hey, look, we're about to put out a new album? You know, so the forward thinking behind this is going to be obviously touring, right? Like who's going to tour off of said album, because you're going to have to perform this music, and that's where the holograms are going to come in. You're going to have holograms. Remember when we saw hologram Tupac? So something similar to hologram Tupac is going to take the place of said artist, which is really wild, really, really, really wild when you think about it. So they, you know, slowly but surely are going to replace humans. None of this should be of any shock to you, but such is the way of our future. How do y'all feel about this stuff? I can't wait to hear you guys call in and tell me, you know, how you feel about this stuff. But there's going to be pluses and there's going to be minuses. It's going to be good and there's going to be bad surrounding this. Probably more bad than good, though. Newest season of Black Mirror. I still have not gotten a chance to watch the Black Mirror stuff. The first episode, I tried to watch the first episode and it just bored the shit out of me. And Jabari said most of these rap and pop songs sound AI now anyway. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Jabari. Sparking it off. But yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Anyway, let's go back in the bag. I don't want to cover every single angle on these topics because then I'll be here all day. All right, what else we got in here? Okay, let's read this report really fast. I don't really have much to say, but this has been lingering in the bag for 2 days now, and I want to just cover it. Michigan police find tens of thousands of fake voter registrations, bags of prepaid gift cards, guns with silencers, burner phones, and Democrat-funded organization with multiple temporary facilities in several states in a massive 2020 voter fraud bust. There's a bunch of news coming out about various states and voter fraud, so keep your eye out on that. Who is this texting me? What do you want? Yeah. Thank you. All right, let's go here. So we know we had the Alabama brawl the other day, and I feared, and Uncle Hotep has feared, and Cooley has feared, the steel chair has become a symbol of revolution. And it's now a meme. It's now a parody. Black culture is a parody. It's now a parody. So this is somebody overseas in a fashion show with plenty of white people looking on. So here you are performing for these white folks. Look at all these white folks. Performing for these white folks. And she got her chair out there. Huge oxymoron. But she probably don't know no better. She's a young girl. She don't know no better. She just knows it's going to get a lot of clicks, and she knows that it's going to make it to the Grift Report.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
But this is what we have to look forward to. This is why my outlook on the liberation of black people, if we're even fucking calling that, I guess that's what people say, right? Like that's what, if you're a black nationalist or you believe you're pro-black, you have to say these buzzword terms, you know, like the red whites and blue whites, they say our great nation. And then black folks say, you know, the liberation of black people, you know, or whatever the fuck we're supposed to say. So this is a symbol of the liberation. Yeah. Anyway, next. Pray for Maui. Maui's been dealing with alleged wildfires. Now, people have talked about the fires coming out of Canada. I know we were hit with them as well. Definitely wasn't a good look at all. Couldn't breathe and whatnot, or it made it hard to breathe, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, who knows what's going on, right? But if we got to put on our tinfoil kufi, if we put on our tinfoil kufi, I believe this is part of the climate change agenda. I got two takes on this, actually. One about colonization and one about climate change. And both, I guess, are kind of related because climate change theory is pretty much a form of colonization. But, yeah, there's a lot of speculation, I would say, around, you know, the intentional cause in order to push climate change and say, look, we told you, blah, 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 right? So it's that take. Then it's a take where I'm going to have to look this one up now that I think about it. So this news came, and I don't even know if this is real or fake, but anybody remember Fukushima? And there was like some sort of line that said, do not build past. Yeah, what was this? Here we go. The ancient stone tablets. Right. So it says, again, I don't know how real this shit is. This is something I ran across a while back, but it says there were ancient stone tablets in Japan's recent tsunami struck areas with inscriptions. Do not build your homes beyond this point. Right. There's a documentary about this that should be on Netflix. It's about the Onkola Waste Repository in Finland. Very interesting to try and build something that will last 100,000 years into the future. Pedantic semi-stone is the only one that specifically tells where to build houses. So according to the Redditors, which I don't trust too much, this is a real thing. This is a real stone, right? So coming back to, you know, the concept of colonization. Some people when they've come across the natives, they've said, wait, you know, how come these people haven't built anything? So one of my theories is these people lived in a certain region. Let's say it's an island, right? And they're like the island of Jamaica, right around August. Well, it's August now, right? You see all this shit happen in hurricane. It's hurricane season in the islands, right? So every August, the islands get hit with hurricanes and then homes get destroyed, right? So my theory goes, what if the natives had built up homes once upon a time? Then August came around, the hurricane hit and it destroyed all their homes. So the following year they were like, look, we're not building no more homes because it's going to get destroyed. Instead, what we'll do is we'll go to another place or we'll shack up in the caves, right? So they may have said, look, we're not going to build anything significant because it's just going to get destroyed. And you see that right now with Maui. They said these fires are caused from, you know, hurricane humidity or some shit like that. I'm not no fucking meteorologist or scientist. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But there's probably some validity to that. I won't deny that. But what if the ancients didn't build because they understood that this isn't a place to be inhabited long term, because then your place is going to look like this. So they were probably island hoppers, is my theory. These people were island hoppers, and when they sensed, and they're probably much closely connected to nature than we are now, as you see, even with present day tribes. So they could probably sense the hurricanes. I forget what it is, but I think the animals tell you when a hurricane is coming. Like the birds stop chirping and shit like that, and it's like everything's just fucking silent, so they knew to scatter. I don't know how it goes. Again, putting this stuff on your desk so you can do your own research. Anyway, pray for Maui and watch out for all the fake GoFundMes that pop up in its place. He said maybe underground cities. Yeah. Elijah said nomadic lifestyles are healthier than city dwelling. That makes sense. Vertical View says, or they were just stupid. I mean, you could try to make that argument. It's a small brain argument. In fact, Columbus refuted that. Y'all want to go back to that? Let's go back to that. I'm just going to refute his argument really fast with the Columbus letter. Because the Columbus letter, he specifically describes these people as being actually pretty intelligent. And then we got to come back to this too, because yesterday we were talking about colonization. We're going to talk about a form of colonization today. I think it's, yeah, it's right around here. Okay, so all right, here we are. He says right here, they are most ingenious men. So they're not stupid, they're ingenious. What's the definition of ingenious? Let's take a look. Clever, original, inventive. So let's say they're far from stupid according to Columbus. Vertical View said, dang bro, I'm trolling, you stepped in it. No, I always give you guys room to troll. And what I like to do is I like to take, even if you're not trolling or you are trolling, it's just the fact that somebody out there at some point is going to have that concept in their mind, and it gives me an opportunity to talk about something based in fact. So I like using those comments, whether you're trolling or not. I like to use them to educate people. So it doesn't matter if you're trolling. I don't really care, We still have to teach people on this channel. Said wind start pulling towards a hurricane. Shout out to Hotep Dutch. All right. So let's go back in the bag. So pray for Maui and all of that shit, Shit's fucked up. I was in the middle of a hurricane disaster, and I know what that's like. That shit was not cool, man. That was a really fucked up time in my life. Really fucked up time. All right, let's go here. Like I told you, it's a quick bag today. Get to the phone lines. So let's take a look at this video. Best Buy. So Media Steady says Best Buy has an anti-white ad. Do they? Let's take a look at it.
Dear Best Buy, Piggy and I started a GoFundMe so I could relocate and join your management training program. How's that sound?
Sounds good. But remember, our management training program is only open to non-whites. Here at Best Buy, we believe in diversity. And as you know, diversity means the less white people, the better.
Nah, that's not real. There's no way this is real. What program was this?
Sound. How's that sound?
Sounds good. But remember, our management training program is only open to non-whites.
Non-white management training program. Best Buy. Best Buy bans white people. Claim goes viral as boycotts call for erupt. What? This is real? O'Keefe Media was the first to publicize a viral memo on August 9th. They attached 2 pictures alongside a tweet that showcased Best Buy's note to its employees. Oh, let's open this up. All right, so retail giant Best Buy has got backlash. Many were quick to compare the company to Bud Light. Okay, so it looks like O'Keefe Media Group broke this story. And it says here, let's take a look at this. Can we click on this tweet? We can't click on this. We can't pull this up. This is trash. All right, never mind. Not important. It's gone full woke. Okay. Okay. Where is, all right. So I see the letter, but this video, I don't see any acknowledgement that the video we just played is real. I see this letter. Program is not open to white applicants. Candidates must meet racial requirements below. So it's part of their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative. Yeah, I don't see the video. That's the same video I just pulled up. O'Keefe Media Group. What do we have here? So this is
Dear Best Buy, Piggy and I started a GoFundMe so I could relocate.
This is the quarter in here. He's posted the video.
Yikes. We all know that Best Buy had long ago gone woke, and we're going to take a look at some of their hilarious backfires over the years, whether it was their reaction to the Kyle's correct revealed. Make sure you're going to love that stuff.
I hate that white people co-opted the term woke. That shit is such a disservice to black people. I can't believe they took that term and just destroyed it. So, I'm going to go ahead and say that video's fake. This video's not real. This video right here, this is not real. It's not real. If you look at something and your first reaction was like, is this real? It's probably not real, right? Anyway, so Jeremy says in his response, he says, this is monetized Twitter now. This account stole my video. Will claim it was a mistake, but for some reason, zoomed the video in enough to crop out my watermark. And we spoke about this yesterday. Here's Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble. He says copyright issues are going to be a problem very, very fast. Okay, here we go. You made a stop motion video? What? How? And Steve in voiceover says here, it's a real advert. I just changed the audio. Okay, there we go. All right. I knew it was something funny about that video. Something funny about that video. Probably some more edits in there too. Someone please tell me that is a parody video. Yeah, exactly. This is fake. But yeah. So did Jeremy produce this video or did Jeremy steal it? I don't know. Anybody know who produced this video? But anyway, we spoke about this yesterday. Yeah, we spoke about this instance yesterday of monetizing Twitter. And basically said there's going to be a lot of theft, right? And even I made a tweet. I was like, hey, here's how you make a lot of money with Twitter. First, identify a video going viral. Second, steal it. Third, repost it with a triggering caption. 4, rinse and repeat, right? That's pretty much it, right? K Green says, if you just change the audio, why is there an X on the white people in the middle? Yeah, I think there might be some more edits than that. But yeah, who produced that video? I don't know who produced this video. Hairway to Steven says, never any progress on this channel. Just checking in. What do you mean progress? What kind of progress? What kind of progress are we supposed to make? Help me out, man. I don't know. I want to do progress. I want progress. I like progress. Right? Isn't progress the opposite of Congress? What kind of progress are you looking for here, Steven? Help me out. But yeah, I'd love to know who produced that video. Because maybe we can hire them. If the Quartering has the ability to do stop motion graphics, or whoever does, let us know. We can get some Uncle Hotep Jesus grifty situation going on here, and it might be fun. So yeah, the Quartering is mad because his video got jacked. I understand. You're gonna get jacked nowadays. You're definitely gonna get jacked for your shit. That's why all the videos I post got my face in them. So if you jack my shit, you're still gonna promote me. Anyway, let's go back. Can y'all see my screen? All right, let's see what else we got here. So we talked Maui, we talked Quartering, we talked about that. We got to come back to that dumb bitch. All right, more grift beef. Dom Lucre is still on top of Still Gray's head. It says on May 3rd, 2023, alt-right YouTuber Andy Worski claimed that Ian Miles Cheong tried to get him killed by calling SWAT on him. The SWAT team allegedly killed Andy's dog with a flashbang and denied these claims on April 4, 2023, and said that these recordings are a dumb joke. I don't know if these screenshots are a joke as well, and I don't know who would incriminate themselves in such gruesome charge, but then again, Ian Miles Cheong has publicly joked about 12-year-olds in admiration of Adolf Hitler. More details come tomorrow. What the fuck? All right, listen to the video.
Thing out saying that he's going to make a video on me. That really actually set me off. I did not need to see that. I'm more than happy to just let him leave me alone. But he forced my hand, so I called the police. I actually called the police on him. I know what he does. I know he has illegal firearms. I know that he is deeply entrenched in the alt-right. I know that he has a lot of cocaine in his house. Yeah, he's fucked. I even talked to them on the phone. So, who knows? Maybe they'll pay him a visit very soon. And hopefully soon the Mississauga police will be paying him a nice little visit. I told them that he was armed and dangerous, because he is. He's got guns, and that he's prone to bouts of schizophrenia and bouts of violence. So he might be in for a treat. It's all true, by the way. He is prone to all these things. So, that's not just me trying to get him killed. That's actually true. They need to be careful.
What about like doxing somebody? Do you think you should be allowed to post somebody's personal information on social media? Sure. Why not? Okay. What about things like swatting? Like if you call a police station and make a false report or
Swatting?
Oh, absolutely not. That's not under free speech. I mean, that is, you're inciting violence or rather not.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. These grifters are grifty, man. And the grifties is around the corner. Make sure you got to go to grifties.com. Grifties.com. Vote for your favorite grifter. What place am I in right now? Let's see. Dylan Mulvaney is still in number 1. Joe Biden number 2. AOC 3. Greta Thunberg 4. Donald Trump number 5. I see Zelensky's up there. Sticks and Hammer is fucking zoomed. He's almost in the top 10. Andrew Tate. Tim Pool. Where am I? Oh, man, I've fallen out of the top 30. I'm now ranked 41. Please go to grifties.com and vote for yours truly for Grift of the Year. We'll be moving into Grifty season soon. It's going to be a little bit different next year. I think this year I gave my producer too much control. This year I'm giving a lot more pushback. I started giving pushback during the recording of this one, but I'm going to have to be a little bit more particular about how we produce this year's because I want it to be as raw as possible and not so scripted. So yeah, anyway. And if it is scripted, scripted in the right ways. Anyway, let's go back. What's the chatter saying? What is the chatter saying? Swatting and snitching? Is that what you saying, Hotep Dutch? Yeah, I think that was Destiny. I just found out who this Destiny guy was. HJ, did you write the book on monetizing the grift on Elon's app? I sure did. You can go get it at HotepJesus.com. It's called Dominate Twitter.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I sure did. Folding chairs should be raising in the grift charts. Yes, it should. Oh, man. All right, chat saying Lil Tay is alive. That's what's up. Good. You're saying Jeremy's guy, video guy did it? Damn good job. Damn good job. All right, let's go back. Just want to check on the chatters. What else do we got in here? All right, let's talk about colonization again. Let's come back here. Then we'll go to some stupid shit and then back to some big brain shit. So here, World Bank says there will be no new financing to Uganda due to its adoption of the Anti-Homosexuality Act. Now, this is a very, very nuanced conversation to have. Oh, it's so much to break down here. So, first of all, let's start with my infamous quote, colonization comes in the form of pronouns, right? Colonization comes in the form of pronouns. Colonization now comes in the form of pronouns.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
So it used to be bombs, or as we showed in our presentation yesterday, religion. And then there's also the economic hitmen that come in the form of, the economic hitmen themselves really set the stage for lending, right? So we're talking about credit, debt, perpetual debt, really. So let's talk about how the debt works before we work our way to the present day. So basically what happens is you'll have a underdeveloped nation, and maybe I'll read an example to you one day. I'm not going to do it now, or maybe I will do it now. Fuck it. You know me, I like being thorough and shit. I could probably pull something up rather quickly. Let me see, because I'm always fucking studying some shit. Let me see here. Okay, so hold on. First of all, let me bookmark where I am, and let's see if we can find an example. Because there's so many examples of this, right? But really what this comes down to is lending. Okay, no. Communists become social democrats. No. No. China, no. Okay, here we go. I want to find a specific one, but any one of these probably. All right. All right, this is perfect. All right, we'll just read this one. I don't need to find a perfect one. This one's fine. All right, Argentina, right? And this is from the book Creature from Jekyll Island. If you never read it, go fucking read it. It's a must read. By 1982, Argentina was unable to make a $2.3 billion payment that was due in July and August. The banks extended their loans while the IMF prepared a new infusion in the amount of $2.15 billion. This is all important to understand before we dive into what this story is. This restored the interest payments and gave the Argentinian politicians a little extra spending money. 7 months later, Argentina announced it could not make any more payments until the fall of 1983. The banks immediately began negotiations for rollovers, guarantees, and new IMF loans. Argentina then signed an agreement with 350 creditor banks to stretch out payments on nearly a fourth of its $13.4 billion debt. And the banks agreed to lend an extra $4.2 billion to cover interest payments and political incentives. The IMF gave $1.5 billion. The United States government gave an additional $500 million directly. Argentina then paid $850 million in overdue interest charges to the banks. By 1988, Argentina had again stopped payment on its loans and was falling hopelessly behind as bankers and politicians went into a huddle to call the next bailout play. Somehow the payments had to be passed on one more time to the taxpayers, which they were in the form of new loans, rollovers, and guarantees. As summarized by Larry Jastad at the University of Chicago, there isn't a U.S. bank that would not sell its entire Latin American portfolio for 40 cents on the dollar were it not for the possibility that skillful political lobbying might turn up a sucker willing to pay 50 or 60 or even 90 cents on a dollar. And that sucker is the U.S. taxpayer. Okay? As mentioned previously, this history can become repetitious and boring. It would be counterproductive to cover the same sort of story as it had unfolded in each country. Suffice it to say that the identical game has been played with teams from Bolivia, Peru, Venezuela, Costa Rica, Morocco, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic, and almost every other less developed country in the world, right? So this part here I was talking about, or I was referring to, I brought this up referring to, hold on, I'm scanning the document again for, because I didn't like that. There's another thing. You have to understand how the money's lost. That's the key to some of this is how is the money lost? So Brazil here, 1982, not that one. Mexican government announced. Okay, not that one. IMF becomes the final guarantor. Bond purchases, yeah. Let's see what this next one is. Debt swaps, yeah. Let me see here. Currency swaps, okay. The same year, 7 announcing government plans on the world debt crisis. Implication, okay, no. And I do want to take the time to find this because this is very important to understand the situation happening in Africa. Panama, No. Because I can tell you from memory, but sometimes when I say things from memory, people are like, oh, Hotep Jesus is just talking. Where's your sauce? Where's your sauce? Henry Kissinger, CFR, Rockefeller, CFR, New World Order, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Chairman of the Federal Reserve, TLC created by Rockefeller, new government control each nation's working wages, cities. If I don't find it in the next few scrolls, I'll just explain it to you. Oh, this part is interesting too. That includes our presidents and advisors, cabinet members, and hidden from the government, CFR. Yeah, that's way too tinfoil. We don't want to get into that. I want to keep this very, very basic. Socialism, redistribution of wealth, take from the rich, give to the poor. Minister programs. Here we found it. Okay, so the essence of socialism is redistribution of the wealth. The goal is equality, and that means taking from the rich and giving to the poor. At least that's the theory. Unfortunately, the poor are never benefited by this maneuver. They either do not get the money in the first place, too much is siphoned off by the bureaucracies which administer the programs, or they do, or if they do get any of it, they don't know what to do with it. They merely spend it until it is gone, then no one has any money. Except, of course, those administer the government programs. Nevertheless, politicians know the promises to redistribute the wealth are popular among two groups: the voters who naively believe it will help the poor, and the socialist managers who see it as job security. Job security. Supported by these two voting blocks, election offices assured. One of the early American advocates of socialism on a global scale, including the draining of wealth away from the rich United States, was John F. Kennedy. He undoubtedly learned the concept while attending the Fabian London School of Economics in 1935 to 36, just prior to his father's appointment as ambassador to England. When JFK became president, his political views continued to carry the imprint of that training. In September 1963, he addressed the finance ministers and central bank governors from 102 nations at the annual meeting of the IMF World Bank. He explained the concept of world socialism in glowing terms. And then they have an excerpt here from him. Okay, here's the play. Commercial banks in the industrialized nations, backed by their own respective central banks, create money out of nothing and lend it to governments of underdeveloped nations. Okay, this is the part I was looking for. They know that these are risky loans, so they charge an interest rate that is high enough to compensate. It is more than what they expect to receive in the long term. When the underdeveloped nations cannot pay the interest on their loans, the IMF and the World Bank enter the game as both players and referees, using additional money created out of nothing by central banks and their member nations. They advance development loan to the governments, which now have enough to pay the interest on the original loans, with enough left over for their own political purposes. All right, now this is the key right here I wanted to get to. 3, the recipient country quickly exhausts the new supply of money, and the play returns to the point number 2. This time, however, the new loans are guaranteed by the World Bank and the central bank of the industrialized nations. Now that the risk of default is removed, the commercial banks agree to reduce the interest to the point anticipated at the beginning. The debtor governments resume payments. The final play is, well, in this version of the game, there appears to be no final play because the plan is to keep the game going forever. To make that possible, certain things must happen that are very final indeed. They include the conversion of the IMF into the World Central Bank as Keynes had planned, which then issues an international fiat money. And this is going to segue into the CBDC in the future, and all of this has a lot to do with the CBDC, as I tweeted last night, and I'll show you that tweet in a second. Once that bank issue is in place, the IMF can collect unlimited resources from the citizens of the world through the hidden tax called inflation. The money stream then can be sustained indefinitely with or without the approval of separate nations because they will no longer have money of their own. It's part 3 that I'm most interested in, right? When they exhaust the supply of money, right? Now I was hoping to, I should probably read the part on New York City. Oh, here we go. Found it. I got a better example right from Africa. Here we go. And I had highlighted it too. Wonderful. Okay. This is how they blow the money. They got a bunch of. All right. So getting rich, this section of the book is called Getting Rich, Fighting Poverty. And I'm going to read this entire section. Okay. In fact, you know, I got to be super thorough. Oh, I'm sorry. I told you I got issues. I got real fucking issues. You know what I'm saying? So like, sometimes you guys gotta bear with me. I got a vaccine injury. I don't know what y'all want me to do, man. My vaccine injury, you know, sometimes that shit just makes me do stupid shit. All right, I think I found a copy here. All right, wonderful. I found a copy. We're going to bring this up on your page, up on your screen in just a moment. It's loading. It's a big book, fairly decent sized book, 600 plus pages. Okay, let's fix this on your screen. All right, so you see right here, Creature from Jekyll Island. That's the cover, da-da-da. All right, let's go. Actually, let's zoom out a little bit to make this better on your screen. How does it look like? All right, let's go like this. All right, cool. So we're going to go to page. All right, right here. Found it. And then I want to make sure it's big enough on your screen. Pause. Just in case, because I know y'all some assholes. All right, right here. This section right here. Okay. But I want to put it on the screen how I see it so we can all follow along. Getting Rich, Fighting Poverty. While the top leaders and theoreticians at the IMF and World Bank dream of world socialism, the middle managers and political rulers have more immediate goals. So this the key here is right here. Middle managers, right? And that's why I was talking about like politicians. I always talk about like politicians, like these guys are, this is a great term for them, middle managers, right? And political rulers, right? So the other day we were talking about, what was the topic? I think Goldstein was on the phone, or one of y'all was on the phone, and I was saying, you know, when we talk about they, there's two different theys, right? And the they I was talking about was the middle managers, right? And it says the middle managers and political rulers have more immediate goals in mind. The bureaucracy enjoys a plush life. This is the bureaucracy. This is your Congress. This is your politicians. A plush life administering the process. And the politicians on the receiving end obtain wealth and power, right? And this is what the politicians want, right? Ideology is not their concern. Socialism, capitalism, fascism, it makes no difference to them as long as the money flows. Graham Hancock has been an astute observer of the international aid industry and has attended their plush conferences. He knows many of the leading players personally. In his book, Lords of Poverty, he speaks of the IMF's structural adjustment loans. And he says right here, corrupt ministers of finance and dictatorial presidents from Asia, Africa, and Latin America are tripping over their own expensive footwear in their unseemly haste to get adjusted. For such people, money has probably never been easier to obtain than it is today. With no complicated projects to administer and no messy accounts to keep, the the cruel, and the ugly are laughing literally all the way to the bank. For them, structural adjustments is like a dream come true. Sacrifices are demanded of them personally. All they have to do, no sacrifices are demanded of them personally. All they have to do, amazing but true, is screw the poor. And they've already had plenty of practice at that. So it says right here, here's the real life example. This is why I don't like to just say shit. I like to show you. And then you can fact check. It says here, in India, the World Bank funded the construction of a dam that displaced 2 million people, flooded 360 square miles, and wiped out 81,000 acres of forest cover. In Brazil, it spent billions of dollars to develop, quote unquote, a part of the Amazon basin and to fund a series of hydroelectric projects. It resulted in the deforestation of an area half the size of Great Britain and has caused great human suffering because of resettlement. In Kenya, the Bora irrigation scheme caused such desolation that a fifth of the native population abandoned the land. The cost was $50,000 per family served. In Indonesia, the transmigration program mentioned previously has devastated tropical forests at the same time that the World Bank is funding reforestation projects. Climate change will start to come into mind. The cost of resettling one family is $7,000, which is about 10 times the Indonesia per capita income. Okay? It says here, livestock projects in Botswana led to the destruction of grazing land and the death of thousands of migratory animals. This resulted in the inability of the natives to obtain food by hunting, forcing them into dependence on the government for survival. Remember I always talked about what socialism does? It creates dependence on the government. While Nigeria and Argentina are drowning in debt, billions from the world government have gone into, pay attention here, building a lavish new capital cities to house government agencies and the ruling elite. In Zaire, Mexico, and the Philippines, political leaders became billionaires while receiving World Bank loans on behalf of their nations. In the Central African Republic, IMF and World Bank loans were used to stage a coronation for the emperor. Basically, they took money from these loans and threw a party to celebrate their emperor. Okay? The record of corruption and waste is endless, but the real eye-opener is in the failure of socialist ventures, those magnificent projects which were to bring prosperity to the underdeveloped countries. Here are a few examples. And then he's got a whole bunch of examples, right? And we're not going to get into them. I just want you guys to see the plot, right? So now let's come back. Now that we have all of that in our head, let's put Uganda into focus. So it says, World Bank says there will be no new financing to Uganda due to its adoption of the Anti-Homosexuality Act. For $50 worth of Syscoin, who is the World Bank targeting? Who can answer that? Who are they targeting specifically based upon our current readings, or our recent readings? Who are they targeting? Can you guys tell me? Who are they threatening? I'm going to go to the Rumble chat because I know the Rumble feed is at least, many seconds ahead. Retro Neon, hey, HJ, would you be down to create a wrestling company? What does that even mean? Why are we creating a wrestling company again? They have to spend the money in liberal economic financial system. They get cooled or assassinated. Yeah. Spending your country's resources and potentially your country's socialism, Uncle Sam. Yeah. So Robert question mark says the poor. That is the incorrect answer. That's not who they're threatening. Poor people? No. It's not poor people. It's not, as Sister Otis says, they are threatening the common man. No. That's not who they're targeting. Not based upon what we just read. Masculinity? No, not masculinity. That's not who they threatening. The conservative blacks, Uganda middle class family, nope, nope. Working class, nope. Nope, all those are wrong answers. All right, time's up. You guys lose. Everybody loses. Who they're targeting with this rhetoric are the people who benefit from the loans. Now I just showed you it's middle management. It is the politician. The leaders of the country who ingratiate themselves, or I should say, fill their coffers with World Bank money, throwing parties, buying wine and whatever else. So the party would be over. So what they're saying is the World Bank knows that the only people that benefit from the money they lend are the people making the decisions about anti-homosexuality. So they're saying, look, bro, if you want to continue to ride around in those limos, you better chill the fuck out and go along with the agenda. Okay? So that's the warning. This is a warning shot. Next time they're going to send the real hitmen in, okay? They're going to put Chia on the ground, Charlie Indigo Alpha. They're going to put them on the ground, and then there'll be regime change, right? Or you'll get, like, you know, the old boy in Ecuador, right? You don't want to play by the rules anymore? No problem. We have your replacement right here. If you guys didn't hear about the news, Ecuador, I can't spell. So you guys aren't aware, somebody was assassinated. And okay, here's my tweet. It showed it right there. Cool. So the events in Nigeria, in Niger and Ecuador are all preparations for the CBDC. And this is all related to the World Bank. And I said right here, I'll explain on the Grift Report, right? But it's all based around the World Bank, right? All these events, at least according to my theory, right? So let's go back. So they're basically saying, yo, if you still want those limousines and you want that fine wine and Wagyu steak beef, you'll get in line with the agenda. Now, if you don't get in, now if that doesn't convince you, you know, living that lavish lifestyle, doing whatever it is that you're doing. Sister Otis said, damn, I wanted that Syscoin. You'll get some. You'll get some, Sister Otis. You'll get some. The puppets says Dutch, yeah. So this is what the warning shot is. This says no new now when they say no new financing to Uganda, what they're basically saying is the party's over. The party's over. Because none of this money is actually going to make it to the infrastructure and whatever infrastructure they create. And you got to remember, socialism, when they rob from the rich and give to the poor, like it showed in that book, they got to keep their jobs. They want job stability. And as Sonny Johnson has always said, you can't be the party of the poor if there are no poor. Just can't do it. Can't do it. All right. So I think I've exhausted that topic. What else we got in here? Oh, this crazy bitch. I don't even want to cover that. All right, let's end off with Sam Harris, and then we'll open up the phone lines. Let's see what Sam Harris, the commie, has to say.
You know, but dial up the deadliness of the pathogen. You know, give us something like, you know, airborne Ebola that incubates for a month. You don't know you have it, and you walk around spreading it, and it's got, you know, a 75% fatality rate, and it's mostly killing kids.
Sam Harris looks like a shapeshifter. I don't think that's a real person. I think this might be Alien in human skin. Sam Harris is an alien in human skin.
No one gets to make that choice.
His face. Just look at his face. That's a costume. He's not a real person. This is one of those draconian lizard people from Planet Zuckerberg. He can't fool me
Anymore. I mean, then literally
that's why they say shit like this. This is a better one. This is a better. Look at that freeze frame right there. Tell me that's not an alien. Tell me that's not an alien.
cops come in and vaccinate you, and I would say that all of us would agree to that. The moment, again, that you turn up the lethality on the pathogen, you turn up the effectiveness of the vaccine, you turn down the risk of the vaccine. Give me a truly safe vaccine where there's not even one documented case of vaccine injury, right? So that then you just have to be completely crazy to be worried about being vaccinated in that kind of environment.
Nope. I'm still not worried, bro. I know who Project Rook is, so I'm not worried, bro. You ain't got me. I got Tanai Rick showing up at Hotep Con next week. I ain't worried, bro. You can turn it up as much as you fucking want.
Then it's just a no-brainer. Then we just don't
It's a no-brainer.
Tolerate a diversity of opinion because the stakes are too high.
We don't tolerate diversity of opinion because the stakes are too high, he says.
It's a full-on emergency. Bodies of kids are being stacked up in parks, right? There's so many of them, we don't know what to do with them. We've got these mobile morgues.
We got to stop right there and go to my clip because I just posted the clip today. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Let's play it. When you people doubted the last few years during the pandemic, what happened? What happened when you doubted it? You were met with terror, a very mild form of terrorism. You cannot go to work. You cannot go to school. You cannot tweet anymore. We will remove your YouTube channel. You can't even doubt the party. One cannot be right against the party. What is right? So we come back here, and what did he say?
Tolerate a diversity of opinion because the state
can't tolerate a diversity of opinion.
Then it's just a no-brainer. Then we just don't tolerate a diversity of opinion.
What does it say right here? One cannot be right against the party. This is Trotsky. This is what Trotsky is teaching. AKA Leon Bronstein. I think that's his name. Yeah. No. Wait. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Lev Bronstein. So Leon, so I did have it right. It's just funny. Did y'all see that Google search? I typed in Leon Bronstein. And some other dude popped up. Who the fuck is this guy? Or maybe I just typed it wrong. This guy pops up. Wow. But that's not who I was talking about. I was talking about Trotsky. So Leon Bronstein, all right? That's Trotsky. All right, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm a geek like that.
Because the stakes are too high. It's a full-on emergency. Bodies of kids are being stacked up in parks, right? There's so much.
And they love to use kids as an example because they know you might not have sympathy or empathy for adults, especially adult males. So they'll always say women and children to get you suckered in to their straw man arguments.
So many of them, we don't know what to do with them. We've got these mobile morgues, and we have a vaccine that actually works, and then we've got
a vaccine that actually works. So what you're saying is that some of the other vaccines don't work?
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Little bit of Freudian slip there.
Hotep.
I say so. I say so. And works for who and how many?
At RFK Jr. saying, you know, maybe you don't want, you know, maybe you don't want to get the jab on Rogan's podcast, right? That's the world I've been worried about ever since COVID. You know, but dial up the deadliness of the pathogen. You know, give us something like, you know, airborne Ebola that incubates for a month. You don't know you have it, and you walk around spreading it, and it's got, you know, to make that choice anymore. I mean, then mostly killing kids. No one gets to make that choice anymore. I mean, then literally the cops come in and vaccinate you.
You heard that? So this guy turned into a full stormtrooper.
A choice anymore. I mean, then literally the cops come in and vaccinate you.
So he wants the cops to come in and vaccinate you. Now I called him a stormtrooper, and that's based upon maybe I can look at my previous searches here. Actually, it's not there. Nazi police forces. Okay. Here we go. It's the link I was looking at earlier. Let's pull this up. A little bit of a history lesson. You know, when you come here, you're going to get history lessons. You know. Let's open this up. Okay. So, right here, how do you say this? Sturmabling. I don't know how to say that shit. Some fucking German word. Paramilitary group, etc., etc. It says the SA. That's what they call it. SA, or that's what we call it. Had been around almost as long as the Nazi Party itself. SA members were known as storm troopers or brown shirts because of their brown uniforms. They marched and brawled in the streets, intimidating opponents of Nazis during the years of the Weimar Republic. See Reading Violence in the Streets in Chapter 4. Now that the Nazis were in charge, the SA continued to operate outside of the law and encountered very little opposition in early 1933. Indeed, many people openly supported its efforts. Right? So basically, he's saying, you know, we should have a Reichstag fire, right? And let's see what Wikipedia says about the Reichstag fire. Okay, Reichstag fire. Okay, it says this Reichstag fire, right, was an arson attack on the Reichstag building, the home of the German parliament in Berlin, on Monday, 27th February 1933, precisely 4 weeks after Nazi leader Adolf Hitler was sworn in as Chancellor of Germany. Dutch Council Communist was an apparent culprit. However, Hitler attributed the fire to communist agitators. He used it as a pretext to claim that communists were plotting against the German government and induced President Paul von Hindenburg to issue the Reichstag fire decree, suspending civil liberties and pursue a ruthless confrontation with the communists. So many people today would compare the Reichstag fire decree with the Patriot Report, or even the Emergency Act, or whatever that they enacted or activated during the pandemic, which basically, again, suspended civil liberties, right? Now, some people say the Reichstag fire was a false flag created to give Adolf Hitler and his government regime ultimate power over the country, because look, guys, something bad happened, so we have to take away your civil liberties. So this guy is basically a fucking Nazi. You know, this guy, Sam Harris, is basically a fucking follower of Hitler. He's a follower of Hitler. This is what it is. You know, because he basically creates this straw man argument that says, hey, look, there's a big fire, so we have to do what?
Make that choice anymore. I mean, then literally the cops come in and vaccinate you.
And there you go. He's a stormtrooper, just like that.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
All right, we're going to the phone lines. 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. Can't wait to hear from our callers. And I'll be back right after this short commercial break. If I can find a commercial.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
Goldstein on the check-in. What up, Goldstein?
What's happening?
Life is good, man. Life is good.
So a little bit of pushback on you, man.
Okay. No, I love pushback.
I brought up the Bryson Gray song.
Oh, yeah.
He says Yahweh in there for sure, but that's not Jesus' name. Now,
what's Jesus' name?
Yeshua. Yahweh's his father. That's the Almighty. You know, and the Jews are the only ones who call him that, really, because they don't want, the tetragram came as a result of them not wanting to use the name in vain. So they don't write it or utter it. They just write the consonants that are attached to it.
Yeah.
But Yeshua, or Jesus, that name is nowhere in the song. And I'm always weary of that shit when it comes to self-professed Christians, because it says there in a number of fucking places that they don't really like uttering that name if they're not really Christian. And this is why a lot of fucking times in the recording industry, people will make a ton of Christian songs and never say that name.
Jesus?
Because of course they believe there's power in the name. There's a ton of Christ, because that's just the title. And even the New Age devil-worshipping motherfuckers refer to their coming Antichrist as the Christ. Metatron, there's a few other names, but they all refer to this coming entity as the Christ, or the Christ consciousness that even humans can attain. Like just regular people can attain Christ consciousness. That's why throwing Christ out there has no real substance if you are a professed Christian. So I'm always looking to see, is people really about the life that they say that they're about?
Well, let me ask you this. No, go ahead, finish. My bad.
I was just going to say sometimes there's clues that you can pick up on that may lend to the idea that may not be the case. But go ahead.
So what I'm trying to understand is why the name Jesus would be so important. Because the man's name wasn't Jesus.
Well, yeah, but it's only really important to a Christian. Like that's one of the things.
But Bryson does not use the name Jesus. He will say he usually refers to him as Yeshua.
Right, but he completely left it out of the song. That's one of the things. I'm like, whether you're saying Jesus, whether you're saying Yeshua, why leave it out of the song? Because when you say Christ walk, again, that could mean that you're walking with a number of different Christs. I would think that someone as staunch as he is about the faith would be a little bit more specific in what he's talking about.
Well, I think you're being a bit pedantic on this one, bro. Kuvi on a little too tight, because, Christ walk, that comes off the tongue a lot better than saying Jesus walk. Like the song just wouldn't have the same step, you know, Christ will. It just wouldn't have
I'm
the
not
same, you know, you still have to have some artistic integrity.
Yeah, I'm not saying change the name of the song. It's a nice flow. It fits. But I'm just saying not one of those rappers utters that name one time.
Well, one of them said Yahweh. He said Yahweh. That's not close enough?
No. They're very different entities.
But if they're Christians and they use the word Christ, that doesn't count either? Because it's just because it means a title. But you know what they mean though. No?
I know what they mean.
Yeah.
And one could assume that they are what they are, but again, it's one of them things where it's odd. Not necessarily an indictment, just odd.
All right. Maybe. Maybe.
But look, enough about it. It's a dope song. I'm taking nothing away from the song.
We finally got him to say it's a dope song. Let's go. I was gonna play that shit until y'all niggas got tired of that motherfucker.
But look, that AI hologram shit that they talking about coming out with.
Yeah.
The hologram shit and just AI in general. My take on that, I've said it a number of times, bro. I think that shit's a false flag. I think they're gonna fucking present that shit.
What's a false flag?
AI and like the hologram shit that they're coming out with, all of that shit. You know, people are going to think that shit's self-aware. People are going to think that shit is demons. But really, it's just a fucking very smart computer program to make you think it's self-aware or a demon.
Yeah.
So that way, people who invented that shit can come along with the solution to the problem of self-aware AI or a demon. That's always been my I don't believe that shit is self-aware, can become self-aware. Humans just ain't got it like that.
No, it'll mimic being self-aware.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the extent of it. It'll mimic being self-aware if you're a scientific-minded individual. It'll also present itself as being demonic if you're a religious individual, because those are the two frames of thought that we have as humans.
Yeah.
And either way it goes, the government will be able to get in there and be like, this is the solution. Don't trip. We got you.
Right.
That's when your ass will be uploaded into the cloud.
Yeah. Indeed.
That's when you.
Indeed.
That's always been my take on that one, man. I just don't want people to start falling for that shit like, oh, my God, we're going to have Terminators. No, we ain't, man. we
definitely going to have Terminators, but they are. You don't think we're going to have Terminators?
Not no actual thinking ones.
Well,
not no shit that you can outsmart by being a human being. It's never going to get to the point where it's bigger or greater than us.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, that motherfucker's going to have a gun. He's going to have heat detection. He's going to have gait detection, facial recognition. I mean, weapon detection. He's going to have a lot of different pieces to his arsenal, right? And he's going to see you coming, okay? This is not going to be a easy thing for us to outwit. You know, it's very much going to look like Terminator, where you're going to have to go directly to Amazon Web Services home base, wherever that is, wherever they got these servers, these cloud servers, and take that shit down yourself. But that shit is going to be heavily fucking guarded, you know, with a whole bunch of Terminators. So in that aspect, we are going to be inferior. No?
To a degree, it's going to have us beat in a lot of different ways, physically anyway.
Yes.
But can never underestimate. Look.
So hold up. Let me patch this up for you. I'm gonna show you what happens. So what happens next is cybernetics or transhumanism, where in order for us to compete with said robot, we're gonna have to become at least half robot, and that's where you get Elon's brain chip. You know, you fuck around, you know, and because look at what's happening now. People think that this whole gender thing is about your dick and all of that. They're just saying like, look, if we can get somebody's to have a dick, we can give you a. They already got the robot arms working for motherfuckers that left the service. That shit is connected to their brain. They move and they even adding sense of feel to these things, you know? So people are gonna chop off their arm to get a robotic arm. You see what I'm saying? A lot of weird shit is gonna follow that. And that is where it's gonna get weird, because just like Terminator, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between a human and the AI.
Facts. That's the trap. That's why I say all this shit is a false flag to get you lured into that direction.
Yes. Just like you can't tell the difference between a bitch and a man because she done, you know, got all the body parts of a woman. Sometimes you can't tell. She done put all that makeup on and shit. You can't tell. It's going to be the same thing. You're not going to be able to tell between human and fucking machine, bro.
Oh, yeah. I've always been privy to a verse in the Bible that says there's going to come a time in the end times where motherfuckers are going to want to die but can't do it. Right.
Damn.
Now, what happens if they have an idea where they can download your motherfucking personality or whatever it is that makes you into an optimist of some sort? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now listen, heaven and hell concept are very, 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 very like poignant in the human consciousness. All right, no matter what faith you are in, you have some type of concept of a heaven and a hell. All right. Now, in the Bible or in the Quran, either way, the soul of a human never perishes. Even in the beginning, when it says that Eve eats the fruit and then now mankind is subject to death, mankind was never subject to death, because even at the end, when supposedly everyone gets thrown into the lake of fire, they're in that bitch for an eternity. So for all intents and purposes, humans were never going to die. Not eternally, not an eternal death, maybe a physical one, but your soul, your spirit, that shit was always going to be forever, because that was always a part of the source. It was always going to be forever. That's why the whole tree thing of you're going to die and shit, there's some weird shit going on there. But I just know that humans were never, ever, ever, ever subject to be put to death or to die. But the heaven and hell concept can easily be surmised when you look at the landscape of technology today, because if your ass is trapped in the cloud somewhere because you decided to take all this foreign ass shit that just pushed your soul into some fucking ethernet some goddamn where that you're not a privy to, now you're separate from all that is in creation. Now you're separate from that, which in essence could be hell for some.
Right.
Whereas everyone else just decided not to, and then they can live a normal goddamn life somewhere, wherever it is we're supposed to be after this.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? So that's why I'm like, yo, this shit is getting weird with all this tech and Elon admitting that, yes, they're getting to the point where they can download your personality and you can escape death and all this other weird shit. It's getting into a weird area. And all this shit seems to have been foretold. So don't fall for this shit thinking this is the only way that humans can remain, that this existential threat of AI is going to come get me one day and I got to plug into this fucking machine. Don't do it. Not worth it.
What you think about the Sam Harris cat?
Sam Adams is already plugged into that motherfucker. Sam Adams, he's been plugged into that motherfucker since birth, though.
Sam Harris?
Worshiping.
Sam Harris?
Sam Harris. Yeah, he's been plugged into that bitch since birth. That was his birthright. Worshippers of Moloch. That's what their birthright is. You know? And Sam Harris is a danger to humanity, man. Danger to humanity. Like the whole crew.
Yeah, I just showed niggas how Sam Harris is a Nazi, man. Wait till we clip that shit.
Yeah. Sam Harris is that. Listen, the only difference between Sam Harris, I'll just put it this way. There is no difference between Sam Harris and Hitler, genetically speaking. I'll just leave it there.
Oh my fucking God. Y'all never want to take do not take the amount of red pills Hotep Goldstein is taking. He has OD. This nigga chugged the whole bottle as soon as he met Morpheus. I don't even know what matrix you in. You're not even in the same matrix as the rest of us. You was in an alternate matrix, my nigga.
Listen. All right. All in writing, bro. It's all there for the, like you said earlier, I'm going to just set that on the desk and let people do their own research. You go ahead and look into that yourself.
Lord have mercy.
But I do want to end with this.
Who baby was he?
Huh?
Who was his daddy?
Who's dad?
Who is Adolf's dad?
I don't know who the fuck his dad is.
That's the question you're asking. Who his daddy is?
Oh yeah, well, his father, his real father is Satan, just like Sam Harris. Both are of the seed of Satan. They are of their father, the devil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their mother is what gives them their genetic birthright as far as the material world.
Let me see. I'll do a $50 giveaway. Somebody can tell me who Adolf. All 10-4 Kufi though, who Adolf, who they say, who the conspiracy theorists say his dad is for $50 in Syscoin. Let's see if the chat gets it. This shit goes deep, man. Pause.
Before I let off, I do want to say this thing. Man.
Okay.
I have been a huge proponent, as you know, as Strong Dad knows, that niggas are going to come back. Niggas ain't gone nowhere. Niggas is going to come back. I have always been a huge proponent of this idea. But after the shit I saw today, I am no longer that guy. Niggas is finished. We are cooked. It's over. The great nigga experiment is done. The results are in, and we ain't shit as a people. Because how in the fuck, bro? How in the fuck are you going to bring that goddamn chair to Copenhagen? How? That shit don't make no sense to me. We went from thrones to folding chairs, bro.
Yes.
Thrones to folding chairs.
To folding chairs.
It's over. Like, what else do I need to see at this point? I held out hope that one day we would be exactly what the fuck we were meant to be.
Yeah.
Rulers of the universe. Nope. That ship has sailed. Ship has sailed, man.
Yeah.
Now, everybody who's just woke, I guess the birthright of wokeness has expanded past black skin, and now it's in everybody. So I'm going to just fuck with you based on how motherfucking conscious you are. Never mind all that other shit, because that shit for the birds now.
Yeah.
We brought the chair to Copenhagen, bro. Copenhagen. It's over.
You black pill. Yo, Goldstein and Uncle Hotep straight black pill.
I'm telling you, now I am. I used to hold out hope. We finna get our shit together. We finna be all right. No, the chair did it. That's it. There's nothing else that can be done that can symbolize that more.
Yeah.
It was the chair. I'm glad that shit happened in Alabama because it woke me up. Woke my ass.
How did it wake you up?
Like I said, man, we got that chair everywhere like it's the next goddamn symbol of the revolution. Of folding. They did to the revolution and all of the rich history and the symbology of the black struggle and revolution, and they capped that shit off. The capstone is a damn folding chair.
You gotta make the meme. You gotta make the meme and make sure you put your watermark on it in a real good spot. But you gotta take the throne, like the ancient African deities and shit, right? From Kemet on one side, like, you know, how it started off, and then here we are now, and then put the folding chair. You know what I'm saying? You got to make that meme. I'm gonna share that shit everywhere.
I'm on it.
That shit gonna be crazy, cause that's an ill take right there. Cause we went from we was kangs to we was slaves.
Yes. Gold thrones encrusted with all the finest jewels that the motherland had to offer.
Yeah.
Done. All the way to a goddamn folding chair. And I can guarantee you that if they found that motherfucking folding chair, if they found the one that kicked all this off, I can damn sure guarantee you that somewhere on that bitch is a made in China.
Oh shit.
Guaranteed.
Well, everything's made in China.
That's right.
Everything's made in China.
So maybe they were the real kangs.
That's what I'm studying right now. I'm studying China right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm a fan of communist history, so pretty much I'm probably like intermediate, you know, somewhere between beginner and intermediate communist history, and the Weimar Republic and Bolshevism. But then it's just like you got to study Mao now. You know what I mean? I got to see what's up with Mao. So I'm on Mao ass. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
You seen who financed the fucking creation of Mao?
Yeah, I'm seeing actually right now, main financier is it's Soviet. I can't recall the name. But yeah, it's the Soviet parties basically running his shit. And that's
yeah.
In fact, they were running that shit like on a fraud, because the Soviets basically told the Chinese, they was like, look, or the Bolsheviks, when they came in, they basically said, look, that territory that the king, that the czar had in China, we relinquished power to. But it was actually a lie, because China was so backwards they couldn't even check it. But there was still troops in China, and like, I don't know, some stupid percentage, like 2/3 or some shit like that. Don't give me the line on the statistics, but I try to retain what the premise of everything is, as opposed to like the little finite details. But
right.
Fucking the Bolsheviks was the first financiers of communism in China, and a lot of it was inspired by French and Russian and German philosophers.
Well, I sent dudes a video about it.
You said somebody a video about it?
I sent those dudes a video about that shit. He was hitting me up about some shit about China. I sent him a video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you get back to it though, bro. I gotta feed these goddamn kittens.
All right, go ahead. Do your thing, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bro. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Goldstein on the chicken. Strong Dad, you can call, yo. What does it say here? Diesel won. Diesel over on Rumble won. I told you Rumble's gonna be first. He said Hitler's a bastard son of the Rothschild. Diesel, download the Pally wallet, Pali wallet. Download it. I can't believe I'm giving y'all my sis either. This is part of my bag. Like I have a sis bag, and I can't believe I'm giving this shit away. But fuck it. This shit gonna be worth like, I'm not. Let me just keep my mouth shut. Yeah. But yeah, Diesel, you won. Pally wallet, you know what I mean? Email me, hotepjesus@gmail.com. Send me your Pally wallet, and I'll bless you. Strong Dad calling you. So Diesel won, that's who they say. I don't know the truth. I don't know, I read the struggle book. I read the struggle book. I thought the struggle book was pretty good outside of his fucking, hateful rhetoric. I thought it was a really good read outside of his hateful rhetoric. But it wasn't even that much of hateful rhetoric in there, honestly. It was very a minute amount in his document. Cuban Libertarian, he said, Lying is a 2011 essay book by Sam Harris, where he argues that we can simplify our lives and improve society by simply telling the truth. Total 180. Yeah, that's crazy. Or maybe he told you what it was. If the name of the thing is called lying, maybe he was trying to tell you something. Maybe he's trying to, get everybody else to start telling the truth so he could be the only one telling the lie. He could hide behind all y'all truths. Who knows? Here's how to tell the truth so I could lie. I was out here worshiping a folding chair. Not the folding chair. Not the folding chair, sis. Oh, man, not the folding chair. God, it's what the fuck. Yo, when Goldstein said from throne to folding chair, that shit just gave me the visual. That's why I told him he had to make the meme, yo. Oh, because we had a fight with some white people. Niggas love a little bit of unity. I think it's very juvenile. That's all. I just think it's nothing wrong with it. It's just juvenile, in my opinion. Go ahead, Jonah. Go ahead, man. We're gonna talk to Jonah. We're gonna talk to Kev. Oh, he says my name is pronounced like the gas. All right, Diesel. Hotep Jesus at Gmail, man. Hotep Jesus at Gmail. Simple. That's my junk email. Make sure you just put Syscoin giveaway in there, in the subject line. Syscoin giveaway in the subject line. I'll take care of you. Retro Neon.
Call from to accept.
Retro Neon over on Rumble said, what other ventures would you be interested in outside of social media? I'm really about building my supplement company right now. That's really what I'm focused on. Really focused on that and making that a really successful project. But I like tech. I like tech projects, but I can't really say there's one thing in particular. I have a bunch of things I don't like. Like, I don't like clothing ventures, but I also won't say no to it. If, like, the design was really good, I could be like, all right, we can work on the tech and the e-commerce. That's no problem. Like, that's just financing, right? But if the designs were dope, I might be like, yo, I'm in, But ordinarily, I might say no to a clothing company. I'll say no to a social media app almost immediately. Send me your fucking 5-page deck on what your app does, and I'm either in or out from there. I can probably be in or out between the first and 2 pages, depending on how you structure your shit. If you structure your shit properly, I can make a yes or no decision based upon page 1. But yeah. Outside of that, what else would I say no to? I'd probably say no to music. I don't want to do any music. I would say no to film in some capacities. Like if you're saying, hey, I want to produce like full motion picture length films, I would be out. That's a huge out for me. If you said you want to do like a web series, I'm like, okay, now you have my interest, right? But what kind of projects you talking about there, Retro? Jonah, what up, baby?
Nada. Just I'm gonna tie in yesterday and today. Now you might not agree with me, but we all have different opinions, and that's how we come to the truth.
Okay.
So Yahweh, the original Yahweh, is actually Jove, Jupiter, Janus, and it's IOVI, Etruscan, going back to the Roman, way before the Roman Empire itself, and that's IOVI instead of Yod He Vav He. And that's Jove, right? This is what the name is like if you write it in English, but in the old Latin from like 4,000 years ago is IOBI. And then you get the II, which is the 11th, so in the Roman numerals, so you get Janus, so it's all Janus. Now, how do you get Janus? So Jove is Jupiter, who exterminates his father Cronus, or Saturn. Saturn becomes whatever, human or whatever, material, whatnot. And then Jupiter, or Janus, so he's the one who takes them out, and then he comes down and becomes partnered with them on the earthly platform or whatever, right? So this again too is the same as the Osirian that you were talking about yesterday. But even then, the original Osirian drama is Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. Now, if you think about that too, right, the story is the Tower of Babel. They split up and, they have 72 languages. So we have at least 24 versions of the Osirian drama, as you called it. But that's just because that's all the different tribes that were split up with the Nimrod.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely. Now, the other thing too with it, when you're talking about like the Greek and Roman and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
For their gods, so we have 5 different phonetic sources, they call them.
Mm-hmm.
Lingual, labial, palatal, dental, and guttural.
Mm-hmm.
All the gods with the Greek, Etruscan, Roman, Germanic, all that, all use all five of those phonetic sources. Yeah.
What's the grouping called? The grouping of those 5 phonetic sources?
That's just from it's all 5 phonetic sources that the human will make in the so the primary pantheons is what this document calls it. Yeah, the one I'm looking at is primary pantheons of the Greek, Etruscan, Roman. They actually have it broken down by color too when you look at the PDF.
You said what's it called?
Primary pantheons.
No, what you said about the Greek?
No, it's the first part is the primary pantheons of Greek.
Yeah.
Etruscan, Roman, and Germanic deities.
But what'd you say about the 5 phonetic sources for the languages?
That's so in the document they'll pull that up and it'll show you where they all are. Is what I'm saying.
What are they called though? Or tell me how to spell one of them. Tell me how to spell one of them.
Okay, lingual is Lingual.
Yeah.
Then labial, like labia, the tick, but it's the mouth one, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's Labial, and then it's palatal, Pal, Atal. Dental is that's obvious, and guttural is the last one with 2 T's.
Let me see here. Guttural, palatal, retroflex, dental, labial. Okay, I see it here. Now the place of articulation. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so
all these names have all 5 of them in it, right? And it's like 5 letters, so just 5. It covers all 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Janus, or you have Divis, which is basically the word dives. Mithra. Minerva, Juno, which is the Ascendant, because that's also one of the versions. So yeah.
Bilabial, palatal, nasal, da, sa, za. Also retroflex. And just to have it. Glottal. Glottal. Oh, Tanya Fear was, this is why I remember this. Tanya Fear was talking about this in one of our live streams on Instagram. 'Cause I remember she said glottal. She's like something about glottal. I remember her. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Jonah. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Hotep Bill.
Hotep and Bill. I don't know where the hell she went, by the way. She just fucking disappeared again. Somebody find Tanya Fear, man. Tell her call Hotep Jesus, man. What the fuck happened to her? Just fucking fell off the fucking face of the earth. AK Kamara, what up, man? Call in, bro. Who is this? Oh, Sister Otis. Sister Otis, you could call in too. Oh. Hotep VIP, you could call in too. You know what I'm saying? Then we gonna get to the rest of the callers. What time is it? 4 o'clock. We making good time. We making good time. Yo, wait till I get that clip of Sam Harris. On some Nazi shit.
Call from.
Yo.
Hey, what's up?
What's happening, bro?
So my last job was actually robotic mechanics.
Robotic
actually
mechanics?
working on the robot manufacturing facility.
Yeah.
And I can confirm as of 5 years ago, we weren't nowhere close to being able to replace workers as far as, I mean, one robot can do a single task faster than, say, a human, but they're one fairly slow, but they can pick up like whole layers, or they can go through and weld like identical things over and over again.
Yeah.
But even in that, the programming messes up so often, and you got to go and reset it and everything else.
Yeah.
So you still got to have like one person for 3, 4, 5 robots to make sure they're all acting right, and if they all mess up at once, then you're just down.
Right.
But that technology is still growing in leaps and bounds, and with AI getting into it, then it should take off. I look within the next 10 years, we can probably have full production facilities with only robots, and then people behind them, like one person per robot to troubleshoot and diagnose.
Yeah.
Or one person per 10 robots or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as far as the music industry, the way AI has been performing, I think they could replace it really quick. Other than the producers that can listen and decide, okay, yeah, that's bumping, and that's what we want to use. That's what we want to produce, or the ones that critique the artist and decide what kind of music they're actually going to push out to the public. And I thought that was CIA run for a while now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Who else? Hey, man, appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah, Hotep and Bill, man.
Hotep and Bill. Yo, AK, go ahead, man. Jack, go ahead. K, go ahead. Damn, I was looking for something. Man. Fuck. Oh, that's right. I need one of these. Let me see. What if I...
Call from.
Fake it.
Yo.
What up? Not much, man. Long time no talk, man. I've been listening and watching. Just haven't been able to call in. Just been slammed with work, bro.
It's all good.
Yeah, man. When you're talking about, kind of breaking it down further about how all this money that's lent to Africa, it's sometimes fascinating to try and put like a number on it. And if you just kind of do some cursory searching, the quote unquote official number is like somewhere around $6 trillion in the last 30 years that, you know, basically we'll call it the West has given to countries in Africa. And when you like put that in perspective, you're like, what the fuck has $6 trillion done? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can go into parts of Nigeria and see that they, you know, their economic development is like head and shoulders above a lot of other places. But to imagine, to put a dollar amount, you know, that's $6 trillion that's basically been stolen from taxpayers and then just given to, you know, government entities that don't do shit, but it's actually just given right back to the central bank, you know? So it's just like a giant money laundering scheme. But when you put that number on it, man, you're like, 6 trillion is larger than the entire crypto market. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man, that like, you know, people still are like, what are you talking about? That's a conspiracy. It's like, bro, this, like, it's not even deep. It's just like, spend 20 minutes just doing some searches and you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a trip to me when, you know, people are like, we need to give more aid to these countries. I'm like, man, if it was actually going to the people, you would have a decent argument, but it never does. And that it's the same thing when we were talking about cities in the United States, about how all of these programs are put into place and this much money goes to this program in this city and in this state. And then it's like, what's going on? Like in Minnesota, there's an article that Bloomberg came out with saying that Minneapolis is the first large city in America to use affordable housing to beat back inflation. And so like everyone's like patting themselves on the back and they're like, this is how we do it. I drive around Minneapolis and St. Paul every day and I see huge tent cities. So they're sitting there saying like, we've made all this affordable housing. And it's like, no, you're building these projects that no one's living in. And then you feel good because you're somehow able to manipulate the numbers to drive down inflation. So I just think people just need to, you know, see it for what it is, man. This is like giant money laundering.
I'm about to show you something right now.
Yeah.
BusinessInsider.com. It's on the screen, right? What does it say? This shit say, hold on. Y'all see that shit? Oh, okay. This is the screen right here. Hold on. Here we go. So Mark Zuckerberg gave Cory Booker in them. This Cory Booker now. So it says on the stage of the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2010, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, and then Cory Booker, and then Jersey Governor Chris Christie announced a huge gift for Newark, a New Jersey city that's a short ride, train ride from Manhattan. The Facebook founder gave $100 million to reform Newark public schools. And other philanthropists later matched that, bringing the total donation to $200 million exclusively for Newark public schools. Now, the name of the article here is, one more time, Mark Zuckerberg once made a $100 million investment in a major U.S. city to help fix its school, and now the major says the effort parachuted in and failed. $100 million fucking dollars in a little fucking metropolis in New Jersey. Fucking 200 million, I'm sorry, 200 fucking million disappeared. At the time, Newark's high school graduation rate hovered at around 60%, 19 points below the national average. Of those who graduated, 90% needed to take remedial classes before entering a local community college. Fewer than 40% of the students were reading at a grade level. The results of the $200 million experiment were disappointing, according to now Mayor Ras Baraka and other critics. The foundation had 5 years to spend the money, and in 2016, it closed its doors.
Yeah, and I looked up real quick because I like you, man. I'm just always looking at information, always reading, and I might not have the exact recall to tell you the exact percentage, but I remember, and so I just looked it up real quick. Right now, the reading proficiency in Newark public schools, all right, only 27% are reading proficient. 27%, man. So you gave $200 million, and you're telling me that you put this money into educating and figuring out ways to innovate education into the public schools. And this is outside of all of the money that's been taken from taxpayers. This is supposed to be a gift. And literally 72% of the people can't of your kids still can't actually read. Like, yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's just the truth of like the way that this money is laundered and what it goes to. And that's why whenever these leftists say like we need more money for schools or we need more money for this, it's like, no, that has nothing to do with it. You're just trying to, again, make your friends rich, get your companies rich, and then the American people are suffering. And that's why like when people like you and myself and so many other people are like, listen, free market capitalism, like this is the way that we actually take control of our own shit. So we don't have to worry about what these motherfuckers are doing because we got our own shit set. That's the only way possible, man. You can't rely on anybody to do anything because they're just gonna fucking take you. But some of them will make you feel good when they're taking you. Pause.
It says right here, which also served as cost-saving move. It says much of the $200 million went toward buying out contracts of underperforming teachers. What? Which also served as a cost-saving move. Okay? The New Yorker reported in 2014, he said $60 million was funded into charter schools that are privately run but publicly funded, and millions more went to $1,000 a day consultants.
Leading around business, bro.
This shit is crazy. None of that shit actually, like, how much of that actually touches kids?
Basically none of it, man. Like, let's just be real. Like, it's this administrative cost. It's like, oh, we're going to build this new thing to do this new thing. And then all the meanwhile, like, maybe they give the kids some, like, janky-ass Chromebooks, and then they just get all busted up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just on paper, they can say, look at all the things that we're doing. Like, I had this conversation the other day with a dude, and I'm like, listen, like, with all this money that we're putting into housing and whatnot in these very, very liberal, progressive cities, why does it feel like there are more homeless people out right now than I've ever seen before? Exactly. And I'm willing to always try and be critical of my perception on stuff. And it's like when you look at the numbers, it's like, oh, homeless numbers are down. And then you look further and you find out that the metrics that they use to count who is homeless have changed. And if they were to apply the same metrics that they used back in 2010, there's far more homeless people. Yeah. So it's, again, where's all this money going? It's just making all these people fucking rich.
Yeah, they changed
It's like their little crony capitalism, bro, of just like getting propped up, making these motherfuckers money while they sit here and tell everyone else, like, no, see, this is why Donald Trump and America First is racist and all this different stuff. All the meanwhile, they're just completely taking the American people, man.
Yeah,
those that are trying hardest. Well, hey, man, I'm gonna let you go. I'm looking forward to seeing you at Hotep Con. I'm super geeked. Yeah, man, should be good times, bro.
Awesome, man. I'll see you there. You gonna be there?
Yeah, man. I got my ticket.
I'll see you next week, baby. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm entered in my hopefully I'll double check, but I got my Pally wallet, I got my Syscoin rolling. I'm ready, baby. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill, bro. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's up. HotepCon gonna be crazy. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not even here right now. This whole week I've been at HotepCon. It's last week. I'm getting a text message from what's the name over at the hotel now for accommodations and shit. I'm responding to her and shit. Let me see is this on my to-do list? Yeah, it's on my to-do list. It's right there. Yeah, I'd die without my to-do list. Oh, where we at? So talk to him, I think we got one more caller left. Caller, go ahead, call in, man. Get your funky ass in here, man. Pause. Yo, wait, is there a bunch of super chats coming? Why does it show Cuban Libertarians sent a bunch of them? But it looks like only one appeared on my screen. What's going on here? In this panel, this is really strange.
Call from.
Yo.
Hotep Jesus.
Yo, what up, love?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
What is Sister Otis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What up, sister?
Fantastic week. You're doing such a good job, man. I love this conversation.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Uncle Hotep is really good, too, at bringing up stuff that not everybody's talking about. I love it. Goldstein always kills it. Love it. Great show. Great show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to comment on a few different things, but the IMF and the World Bank.
Okay.
So when I took care of them, this is my story. It's the late 90s. All of a sudden, I'm seeing on the news, or back then in those days, I listened to NPR every day. That's changed. But also, I started hearing about this protest in Seattle against the World Bank and the IMF. And I'm like, what's that about?
Where is this?
And they're showing, what's that?
What country is this?
This was in the United States.
Oh, okay. What
so
year?
It's late 90s in Seattle. There's this huge protest. Yeah, Seattle. I think they called it the Battle of Seattle. No, I'm way off on that. This is the late 90s, and they're protesting the World Bank and IMF. And there was thousands. The whole street was filled up. I'm like, what? I never even heard of the IMF World Bank. What is that? So I'm a youngster. I go out and I look into it, and then I learn about like what you were talking about, how they loan countries the money. And there was a documentary that they put out in the I don't know when it was, but about Jamaica, how the World Bank came in, they offered them all this low interest money, this huge loan. The Jamaicans thought this is going to change our world, But one of the clauses was they had to open up tax-free trade.
Of course.
Yes. So now, all of a sudden, overnight in Jamaica, this is your people, right? You know the story probably better than me, but then Chiquita Banana all of a sudden could tax-free bring all these bananas into Jamaica and sell them for cheaper than the banana farmers in Jamaica. So overnight, all these people that have owned these banana plantations and stuff like that for all these years, their family after family, they lost all that. Everybody just started buying the cheaper bananas, the Chiquita bananas, drove everybody out of business. What was dairy, bananas, farming, agriculture, whatever, local made goods.
Yep.
And then once they bankrupted those people, then Chiquita Banana came to all the banana farmers and said, hey, your business is worth nothing now.
Sell it to me.
What's that?
They gonna run it now, right?
Yeah, so they said, hey, we'll buy your business because you have nothing now. We'll buy your business from you and you can run it.
Yep.
That's economical colonialism.
Yep. Yep.
And so they don't have to pull any triggers.
Yep.
So going back to the big protest in Seattle, so I was like researched, I was trying to figure out what's going on. Well, all of a sudden, there's this peaceful protest, mostly just a bunch of hippies. It was like all the boomer hippies came out and they were marching through the streets. They knew what was up. And then all of a sudden, the men in black showed up. And literally, the dudes dressed in black that looked like Antifa, they show up and they start busting all the windows out of all the buildings and damaging all this property. And these Antifa-looking guys did not look like modern Antifa. These were fit dudes, military-looking guys.
Yeah.
All dressed in black. I can see their faces. Hippies trying to jump on them, trying to stop them. They're just throwing them off, throwing these hippies everywhere off of them, And then there was all over the news because now the whole protest went from what? It went from what's the World Bank, like I did. How many people were going, God dang, that's a lot of people protesting. What is that? And so they stopped. Now everybody stopped looking up World Bank and IMF. They never explained on the news what are they actually protesting. Now all they just shows all the pictures of all the violence.
Yeah.
Now all the vandalism and private property destruction and whatnot. And then they found out that all those people were held up in this house. And then everybody's like, oh, they got them. They caught those bad guys. And then no charges were pressed and all those people were released. And I don't know if anybody's picture even made it in the news of who those people were.
Uh-huh.
So, what's going on there, right?
Well, you got, that's like the, huh?
If you know the playbook, you know the playbook.
What's that?
Of,
oh, how they move. Yeah. But I was going to say, it's like Occupy Wall Street. You know, for me, I thought Occupy Wall Street was the last bit of organic resistance or revolution or whatever you want to call it, or activism. Let's call it. There was the last real activist died at Occupy Wall Street. That's when everything spiraled.
On the lefty side.
Huh?
On the lefty side. I think on the lefty side.
What do you mean?
I think it was I agree with you. I think it was the last real protest that happened, but I think more leaning on the lefty side for the lefties.
Well, yeah.
Now my lefty friends that used to hate Big Pharma were all natural medicine. They didn't vaccinate your kids.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing is, you know, all revolution is going to come from kids, and kids happen to be left wing, right? So, it definitely was not. It definitely could not have been a right wing movement because right wing people don't organize like that. They're old.
Well, I'm going to push back on you. I'm going to push back on you a little bit on that and say that at the same time Occupy was going on, you had the Tea Party happening. And you had the Ron Paul movement audit the Federal Reserve.
Yes.
And what I realized during that whole thing, because I've seen all different kinds of stuff go down. So that one, I was more of like an online observer during the Wall Street protests and all that stuff, Occupy. I became more of I'm going to watch from the outside because I'd always be that person showing up to protest. And then you find out a bunch of these leaders and a bunch of these people, they are not who they say they are.
Right. Absolutely.
And then you find out all the ulterior motives to things.
Yeah.
And so I was more of a sideline watcher on that one to be an observer. And what I noticed at that time was that the Tea Party people and the Occupy Wall Street were saying the same exact thing. I mean, identical. I mean, almost identical. But they got those two groups thinking that they're enemies because they tell all the lefties that the Tea Party people are racist.
Yeah.
And then so they don't want to, oh shit, no, we don't want to be, that's like holy water to vampires. Tell a liberal they might be called racist. Oh shit. We're not going to join that. We're not going to join those people. And then I realized, oh, that's how they do it. Here's all these people, they're saying the same thing, but they got them divided. Because if they work together, they can make some things happen.
Right.
And it was Ron Paul and Bernie Sanders that wrote together, co-authored the bill, Audit the Federal Reserve. And for years, they try to get, yes, sir. And they co-wrote that bill. This is how, like, leading up to 2016, this is like how I made a bunch of my decisions, is that Bernie and Ron Paul co-wrote that bill. And it was big. You would always hear the lefty people. We'd always be talking about audit the Federal Reserve. Everybody talked about that. The banks are corrupt. We got to audit this, right?
Yeah.
And then year after year, they never had enough votes to pass it. They finally rounded up enough people. This is Tea Party time,
Mm-hmm.
And like that, coming out of that whole group of people. So, and the night before the vote, Bernie Sanders dropped out.
Mm.
And he led his coalition away from signing that bill into law.
Mm.
And that said everything. It's easy to be popular. It's easy to say something popular, but if you never have to carry it out.
Yeah.
And then he co-authored the bill. What could he possibly have a problem with it?
That's
He
Trotsky.
voted for it every year.
Bernie's Trotsky. That's Bronstein.
Yeah. So, Bernie is he's the guy they put out in front and lead all the people, the utopian lefties who think they can create a utopia on Earth if they just create enough laws to force somebody to live the way they think they should live, and then we can live in some kind of utopia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I see what Bernie's all about. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden Trump comes down that elevator and he starts talking about maybe we should look into the Federal Reserve. I'm like, what? I didn't care nothing about Trump. I didn't care nothing about. I was probably the first person to ever write a Trump diss song when everybody was writing, I want to be, Trump songs, mentioning Trump, as like an idol, a financial idol,
Yeah.
I was probably the only one who had written a diss song that had Trump in it. And then all of a sudden Trump comes down the escalator and he starts talking and I'm like, what? This guy's saying what nobody says. This guy's gonna turn over some ground,
Yeah.
I wanted to go touch on about the National Socialist Party.
The National what?
That was the National Socialist Party. That was the German National Socialist Party. Is right with the Nazis. Their original party name is.
Yeah.
They're socialists, right?
Yeah.
And I think about as far as the ethnicity, say of Hitler's father or the Rothschilds or whatever the conspiracy theories is that anytime you say it's the something, like it's the blacks, it's the whites, it's the Jews, you're already lost the debate because, technically speaking, because no one whole group is the thing.
Yeah, correct.
Right. And that makes everything.
Well, the thing is, the thing isn't the concern. The issue is, what is it that the thing produces, right?
Right.
Because you can hate the player, but what about the game? And I think so many people get caught up in hating the player that they don't spend enough time analyzing the game. And I think you got to analyze the game and really,
Yeah, the playbook, right? And
so what's the playbook? Fuck the team. What's their playbook?
Right. And they've got us always focusing on those German National Socialists. That's all you hear about. There's more documentaries made about that man than anybody in history.
Well, I think a lot of that has to come back to the fact they don't want people to look at the technological advancement that came out of Germany. I don't think people want to look at the things that Wall Street produced in Germany.
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely. What I was going to say though is, socially speaking, they're how they took power, how their tricks, the propaganda, the creating us against them, very simplistic thinking kind of stuff. But they got all that stuff. Who did it before them was the communists. In 1917, the Bolsheviks, the gulags, the assassinations, the public hangings, the propaganda, seizing of private companies and private businesses. Who did that first? It was the communists.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say the German National Socialist Party learned everything from the communists. And they were like, we better do it to them before they do it to us.
Yep.
But again, they got us always talking about the Nazis. We know so much about them, yet people hear us who should know better got the same exact philosophy. He has the same philosophy that leads to, has always led to the mass murder and genocide of whole people. And I'm Polish, so that, if they always say 6 million Jews and the others. Well, I'm part of the others, the Polish. The internet used to say 6 million Christian, Polish Christians. Now it says 4 million. I guess Poland did a revise for some figures. But
that's another country I got to do my studies on, because every time I'm studying this shit, it's like Poland is just like a innocent bystander just getting his ass handed to it. I'm like, damn, y'all just keep tossing Poland around like a whore.
For thousands of years. And so whether you're reading Hitler's writings or you're reading Karl Marx's writings, the Slavic people were considered ethnic trash. And the word slave comes from the Slavs. The Moors were coming up and getting us too over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Millions of women stole and enslaved. Yeah, for thousands of years. And what was I bringing up Poland for originally?
I got some more callers that got to get in here too. Don't forget.
Got you. Oh, that's what I wanted to say though, is with the Polish people, we're the others, the Polish Christians. Okay, so we were right there in all those camps too. Millions of us were murdered, and no one even talks about it.
Yeah, that was the pogroms.
Yes.
That was the here, I'll show it to you right now. Let's go Google. Let's type in Polish pogrom. All right, here's one of them. 1919 pogroms in Ukraine and Poland. You know what I mean? It looks like somebody did a says in 1919 nearly 100,000 Jews were murdered in Ukraine and Poland in pogroms. These ethnic riots dominated headlines and international affairs of their time as aid workers warned that 6 million Jews were in danger of complete extermination. 20 years later, these predictions came true. Polish pogroms, Bernard Briff, they talk about this shit. I know the Bernard Briff gonna definitely talk about this shit. 1941 pogroms in eastern Poland, but yeah, a lot of Polish people were murdered.
Well, and then Stalin and Hitler made that deal, and they invaded Poland and they split it in half.
Yeah.
And that's why, Britain said that they were going to war over what happened to Poland. But when Hitler lost the war, they let Stalin take all of Poland. And then we were, Polish were, the communists were over the Polish until the 1980s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Immediately following the German invasion.
And so what my main point with that is that it doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, what ethnic group you're part of, what religious group you're part of, what country is your nation, what is idealism. This playbook of, censorship and we're going to force you to live our way so we can get to utopia one day. These kind of big ideas, the best we can really hope for is just have basic respect, live and let live. You are allowed to speak your mind, I'm allowed to speak mine. That's just like what we, grew up with, you know? That's just like, and that's how to live a peaceful life. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to go over to my neighbors and try to control how they're living over there.
Yeah.
And I want them coming over and controlling me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just so every group does it. It's part of humanity. It's a human nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, appreciate the call, Mrs. Otis.
Thank you so much, Hotep Jesus. Have a good one.
All right, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Tari, go ahead, yo. I haven't eaten all day. I have not eaten all day. I've been working since morning. I've been studying. Studying and working. I got a lot of work done this morning and studying. And I got one more email I gotta send today. But I sent a bunch of emails out this morning. If you're a Hotep Con ticket holder, check your email. I sent the email out this morning to y'all. Oh, excuse me. Some customer service shit. But yeah, a lot of people died in Poland, yo. A lot of people died. What up, Jay Pylon? Jay Pylon in the chat. I'm waiting for my food to get here. Yo. You was doing yard work? Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead, call in, Jack. He said he was doing yard work, so he missed his chance to call in. But yeah, I was playing. I was playing around the website today. So when you go to trymasterfocus.com, I actually changed the order of the website. So you'll have your top banner here. Then we'll have our commercial. I know you guys have seen the commercial before because I always play it, right? The commercial's right there. And then our philosophy, it was at the bottom of the page, so I moved it to the top. Mostly because it has the ingredient list here. So a lot of people have been asking about, what's in the formula, what's in Master Focus. So we got Ginkgo biloba, Gotu Cola, Bacopa Monieri. And these things right here are all this is all brain shit. There's other brain shit in here too, but these especially this Bacopa is very interesting. This is going to promote the little antenna on the neurons in your brain that create all your thoughts or manage all your thoughts. Yeah, I should say manage. But yeah, all those neurons that are firing. Yeah, this is Bacopa, rosemary, holy thistle, ashwagandha. You guys are all familiar with the key one here, cola nut. This one is another key ingredient where this is one of the origin ingredients of Coca-Cola comes from the cola nut. This is an African herb there.
Call from.
Yo,
Yo,
what's good, bro?
that Sam Harris video, man.
Oh, Sam Harris.
I have to say, I don't know if he's wrong.
You said what?
I don't know if he's wrong. I don't know how wrong he is.
Oh,
I think he's kind of right.
Right about what?
Just a little. Well, I wouldn't say everybody, but we already saw it during COVID. Like, people will, and this is assuming you have something that's really deadly, that's actually deadly, and you actually, like he said, you have a vaccine that quote unquote works. People was willing to sign up for that. I mean, you saw what people were doing with the mask.
Yeah.
Putting the mask on their kids. Like, it wouldn't be all of us, but
yeah,
it's going to be a pretty hefty amount. I would say that much. It's going to be a pretty hefty amount.
Yeah.
In fact, the way it's looking, most people really only want to be safe.
They only want
to
be
don't
what?
really care. They only want to be safe, secure.
Yeah.
And they don't really care, if they violating your rights to make sure that they're safe.
Right.
A lot of the time, it doesn't really. We do it all the time. It's actually one of the funniest things about conservatives during the COVID time is that it was actually one of the most ironic things in the world to me. It was right during this time where we were talking about oppression and the lockdown and the government, violating your rights. The George Floyd shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the exact people that they have come violate your rights were on question, right?
Yeah.
And what happened? It was immediate defending him. It wasn't like it was a lot of times, initially it was everybody was like, oh, that looks really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the political shit kicked in, it was just like, oh, well, we got to defend the police. Because then they started doing the whole defund the police thing. But a lot of people weren't willing to just be honest, except for, the more libertarian-minded people about, fuck this guy. Whole bad situation all around. But, fuck these guys. And these people are actually the people, violating your rights right now. Why are we defending them? Because, half the reason... when that situation happened, it's it could have not been about a counterfeit bill. It could have been about it could have just been about him being in the store without a mask or some shit. The kind of shit that was going on in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the kind of city that was. It didn't even have to be that situation. So it was more like, what are you willing to allow? And we found out back then that it doesn't really matter what side they're on. What really matters is, how well you can propagandize to them, how well you can get them to, go straight, for the I'm protecting my side kind of fight. It's not about the issue. It's more about defending my side.
you know, justifying why my side holds whatever position it holds, rather than, you know, the truth, right? Which is what some of us are to focus on the truth. That's what I think Sam Harris is right, man. As fucked up as it sounds, you know, and he believes that shit wholeheartedly. You know, he's on a group of people that, you know, probably thinks you should be thrown in jail if you didn't get the vaccine, because he's up there talking about, oh, well, you can't just be walking around, you know, letting people get infected. I mean, like, that's actually one of the reasons I feel what Rook was saying, you know, because I mean, to be honest, it don't necessarily work like that. Like, might not necessarily be getting it. You don't know how these viruses are gonna work and how the contagion always spreads. So, I mean, you could be walking around asymptomatic, and if it ain't nothing, like if other people around you are healthy, then they don't have anything to worry about. All right, so it's not always that a vaccine is even going to. It's never really been that a vaccine is going to really help you with any of that stuff, but it's really just what people think it'll do. You know, it's kind of a placebo effect kind of thing. You can convince anybody that a placebo is good. You know?
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, that's all I want to say. I did have another question for you.
What's that?
This is some shit that I heard from Alex Jones the other day. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. He was talking about aliens, and he said that they're priming you for the aliens, right? I thought this was a pretty cool theory. So that when the angels come down or some shit like that, this is like real out there. You'll be fighting with them because you'll think they're the aliens. It was some shit like that. I was like, yo, that's low key, like, that's low key fire. Like, I was like, because I was thinking like that a little bit myself. I was like, you know what? I always ask people, especially, you know, atheists and whatnot, you know, when they say they don't believe in God or whatever, or if God existed, why don't he just, you know, bring himself down and talk to you?
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, if he did, would you deny him? Like, wouldn't you just deny him, just act like you were hallucinating or something? Like, and most of the time they tell me, yeah.
I like that theory.
Yeah, that's a crazy theory. But I just wanted to say about that one.
All right, appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hotep is good.
Hotep is good. What the fuck? I'm looking at the reviews. I don't know if it's cotton or not, yo. Hold up. Oh shit. So the other day I ran a poll. Some of you guys were here for that poll. And I said, you know, I'm rocking this 47 Trump hat on my head sideways. I'll show you something crazy here. Y'all want to see something crazy? Look at this. Human beings are very fascinating creatures. Very fascinating creatures. I want to show you something. Yo.
Call from
Jack.
Jack, what up, yo?
Not much, man. Just been doing some yard work. Fucking goddamn monsoon has got it so damn humid. Weeds are coming up. I'm cleaning the gutters and stuff. But it is humid as shit here.
It's humid as shit? Where you at?
Northern Arizona. Yeah, it's only like 80 something right now, but it feels like 90% humidity, man. It's just humid as shit. We've been getting some good monsoon rains. Arizona is one of the only 3 places in the world that gets monsoon season, including India, Australia, and Arizona. Some other parts of the Southwest, but mainly Arizona.
Right.
Yeah, man. How you doing today?
Life is good, man. Life is good.
Yeah, you need to be eating, man.
You said
You're
what?
working hard on empty. You need to be eating, working hard on an empty stomach ain't good for you.
I disagree.
You do like the Andrew Tate thing? You only eat once a day?
It's not an Andrew Tate thing, but yeah. You know, that's just you know, it's basically human bio.
Yeah, I did that for years, man.
Yeah. I mean, you can get up and have breakfast. I think that, you know, that may serve a purpose in somebody's life. Like, You know, if you wanted to gain a massive amount of weight, then yeah, you probably want to eat more. You know, but if you're looking to, you know, just be normal, I guess, you know, you wouldn't like indulge. Like, you know, it's like a type of thing where it's like, are you really hungry, or are you eating because it's breakfast time? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
I'm not even like really hungry.
Exactly. Oh, there's a deer right there. Yeah, I generally don't eat breakfast. I mean, I'll do a little snack, take my high blood pressure medication, you know, and this and that. But yeah, you know, mainly just a little, you know, like grazing and stuff, as my old lady likes to put it, and then, you know, I'll do dinner kind of early. But yeah, man. So yeah, good show today. People talking about a lot of deep points, knowledge, history. I always love that aspect of your show.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. I try to keep that, you know, as a part of the show, because otherwise I'll lose interest.
Yeah, you know, it is the Grift Report, but yeah.
Yeah.
It always goes to different topics. I see you guys just talk about video games for hours, and that's cool. I like video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I had a question for you, actually. I've been thinking, and I looked at a bunch of your clips about Joe Rogan, stuff like that, or when you were on Joe Rogan, sorry. And so it's kind of a stupid question. Have you experimented with psychedelic drugs?
No.
Now, have you never taken mushrooms or?
No.
Yeah.
I refuse to.
I have a little bit. My wife, her grandmother made her do a sweat lodge with the peyote, and she had visions and weird stuff. Okay, so this leads to my second question. Do you believe in like astral projection?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever done it?
No, I've experienced it. I've experienced other people do it to me, but I've never done it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's a second. No, go ahead. No, that is very interesting that you said it that way.
Yeah, it's very much a practice. You know, it's something you kind of gotta do consistently to get good at. And it's a very difficult thing to perform.
Especially during sleeping. Okay, so let me ask you another question. Have you ever slept and dreamed that this was your dream? You were like literally floating above yourself, lying in bed, just staring at yourself sleeping in bed?
No.
That's also kind of a form of astral projection. I've done that a couple of times.
Yes, that is how you begin to achieve astral projection at further distances, but that's where you would start. You would start right there looking at yourself. I haven't even achieved that yet. I actually don't want to, because I'm quite afraid of looking at myself from the astral body.
It's
it
very,
might creep me
very
out.
peaceful. It was kind of when I woke up, but
Yeah.
then I was kind of scared to tell people like that was my dream. They're like, "What? You just looked at yourself?" And I was like, "I've suffered from insomnia since puberty, and yeah, and then being a musician, you know, getting off work at 2:00 and then driving 2 hours, getting home at 4:30, and not getting to bed till 7, 8 o'clock a.m. You know, wake up whenever you can. All right, take a shower, get your ass back in the car, and drive to Phoenix, and we're going to do it again Saturday night. You know, like that.
Have you ever had a lucid dream?
I've had many dreams. I've had flashbacks. I've had dreams.
Have you ever had a lucid dream, like where you knew you were dreaming and you were in control of yourself?
Several times. That's been really hard for me. I've seen dreams that were. How do I describe this?
Okay, let me hop in right here.
Dreams.
Let me
No, go
hop
ahead.
in right here, because
I'm
lucid
more
dreams
interested
I'm
about
quite fascinated with, mostly because that's something I have actually fucking experienced, right? So it was a bunch of babies trying to attack me, and they had like these like gremlin teeth. So I immediately knew that I was in a dream, right? So it reminded me of the movie Inception, because in the movie Inception, you don't know, dream world from reality, and you need some way to figure that out. So what they do is they spin that little pendulum, right? So which I find quite fascinating, right? The hard part is when you're in a dream, sometimes you can't tell the difference between the dream world and reality, which doesn't invoke a lucid dream, which may bring you to a point where you initiate the lucid dream, which I've had only success as a young boy. In my adult years, I have not had that type of intentional lucid dreaming control. But as a young boy, I remember on a couple of occasions at the minimum. And that shit is fucking fun.
Depending on, how much day res you do, you're trying to process, they say, I think it was actually Gandalf that said the more we are in youth, the closer we are to the gods. It has a lot to do with our imagination. We didn't stop playing like children because we got old. We got old because we stopped playing.
Yeah.
In our imaginations. That's why I try to write songs and shit like that. What was the point of that you, man? No, I'll have to do some more research onto that. But yeah, as far as just processing day residue and how that affects, and then being able to control dreams. But my point was I've seen like things in the future in my dreams, and like shit will happen to me, deja vu. I'm like, wait, like literally, I remember like that was like 6 fucking years ago, and I saw like this moment, and I call it like the cyclone of chaos, and the only thing you can really do is just learn how to meditate to it. If you react to it, then you bust
right out of it.
Yeah, you're going with the herd if you react to it. I learned that working in Las Vegas, just watching people, seeing some funny shit. But anyways, man.
Hey, appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah, man. Great show. You guys be safe out there in Vegas.
How you?
Next week, man. But have a good time. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. God bless. Lord Jesus, blessings to all. And y'all take care now.
Hey, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Peace.
Good guy right there. It's good. That's a good guy right there. So, we take a look here at this comment. This is on one of my shorts, and he says, fix your hat. Right? Fix your hat. Because it's not, we spoke about this the other day. I ran a poll and I said, hey, look, should I clean up my act, or should I continue to do streams with my hat belligerent and this Versace robe on, right? And majority of people said, be belligerent, be you, be comfortable, be what makes you happy, Truth of the matter is, I really don't give a fuck either way. I just kind of want to simplify my life into the point where I know what I'm going to wear when I stream, right? Once I'm there, I'm fine. So, I got this comment, fix your hat, which supports. So, anyway, back to the poll, right? The poll, although belligerent won, it wasn't convincingly. It was like 52%, which means that 48% of respondents were like, what the fuck is going on here? Clean up your fucking act, Hotep Jesus, which is a significant portion of the viewers. So I've decided to create a uniform, right? You guys know I love branding. It's looking at the Bruce Leroy outfit. What y'all think about the Bruce Leroy outfit? What do y'all think about that? Let's see. Let's type in Kung Fu Gi 100%. Somebody said it better make sure it's 100% cotton, and that's true. That's true. Why are these shit so cheap? I want my shit to be like $200 just so I know it's like high quality. I don't want to buy no bullshit. Somebody got to tell me where to buy the official shit from. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to rock this shit right here on stream, What's up? What's up with the vote? We going Kung Fu or nah? Let's put the vote up. We going kung fu or nah? Let's put the vote up. Y'all ready? Yeah, gotta tell me if y'all with this shit. Start poll. Alright, here we go. Bang. Let's ask the community. Yeah, let's see what y'all say. And this is very much an experiment. I want you guys to notice, you know, how people respond to me with the new fit. It's gonna be very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, and you can even type in the chat, Rumble. I know we don't have no capabilities like that over here on Rumble yet. But type in the chat, what y'all got? What y'all think? You know? Papa said, yes, sir, kung fu it up. That's what Papa said. You know, Papa's a real person. Really fucking cool. Altering mood, attitude, ability to calculate. Out of body experience, clairvoyant, me too, homie. That's what's up, man. He said, astral projection, what's that? CrossFit exercise? That's funny. That's funny. Matari said, be like water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need cashmere in my life. Is that so? So let's see what the respondents are saying. Respondents on, so we got 72% on YouTube says go kung fu, be like water. 72% say go with the fire kung fu fit. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go with the kung fu fit. We're gonna cop some hot shit. I don't know what we gonna cop. Somebody tell me what's the hot shit. Which one we gotta go to, y'all? Which one of these shits is real? You know? Tang suit? This Tang suit is fire right here. I like this Tang shit right here. This shit look fire too. You know? I might throw this shit on right here. You know? Let niggas know, man. Let niggas know right now. Let me tell you something, yo. This is a very revolutionary act to wear these Chinese fit. This is a very revolutionary act. As I'm studying Mao, like Mao wanted to destroy Chinese culture. This might not be Chinese culture, but I think it might be Japanese, but Mao wanted to destroy Chinese culture. We got to keep this culture alive. I'm about to rock this shit right here. I'm about to rock the Bruce Leroy shit. Somebody gonna be like, how come you don't wear the African dashiki? Look, relax. Relax. We was samurai, my nigga. We was samurai, my nigga. Don't forget that. Don't forget we was samurai, bro. Oh, this shit look fire right here. I might cop this shit. Oh, they got it with the red trim. Don't make me rock the red trim. Don't make me rock the red trim. That red trim fire. Huh? That gray schmacking though. That gray schmacking. What color is this? Yeah, that's the gray. What's the green look like? The green fire too. I like the green. You know what I mean? That's your plant elemental. You know what I'm saying? Nerd texting me. What nerd talking about? This probably the report. Oh, this for Hotep's been told you for tonight. Those are the notes for. Shout out to nerdnash.com. Just sent me the Black Twitter report. We gonna cover that tonight on the show. It doesn't say what it's made out of. Where's the material? We need to know the material. Let's see the material. Where's the material? It doesn't say 100% cotton. Somebody got to get me a link, yo. Somebody get me the link, and I'll rock this shit. I'll rock this shit for like the next 90 days, just as an experiment, and then we'll switch it up. 68% over on YouTube. He said, if I rock the kung fu fit, I gotta eat with the chopsticks. Oh, I'm absolutely eating with chopsticks. I'm definitely eating with chopsticks. Robert said doesn't look very Hotep. Does it? You don't think so? Yeah, I look good in anything, bro. Please do not test my swag. I look good in anything. And I'm gonna rock the gold chain with it. Niggas gonna be trying to figure out what's going on. Hotep's throwing stars coming soon. You already know. Said a company called Origin. All right, let's see if Origin got the Kung Fu geese. There we go. Origin Gi. Found it. This the Jiu-Jitsu one? All right. This the Jiu-Jitsu one. Let's see if they got the Kung Fu joint. Nah, I don't want the Jiu-Jitsu one. I need the traditional. Nah, this ain't that. This the one you go in the motherfucking competition with. I'm not talking about that one. No, not this. These are dope though. Those are dope. But I need this button style. I forget what this button style is called. You know what I'm saying? Y'all with that? All right, hold on. Let me check on the 69%. 69%. Pan Afro said 2 Bruce Leroy. Famo said go for it. I'll probably rock it. I used to have one. My brother bought me one because my brother's a fucking black belt in Kung Fu or some shit like that. And he gave me one. Where that shit is? It's probably in a box somewhere in storage somewhere. I'll have to buy another one. That shit was official too. I used to rock that shit. I used to walk outside the house like that shit. Motherfuckers used to look at me crazy. You know what I'm saying? I used to rock that shit. All right, yo. I'll see y'all tonight, 8 p.m. Make sure you hit that QR code you see on your screen right there. QR code on your screen gonna apply the discount. Automatically go to checkout. You'll see the discount at checkout. You know. Get your brain booster. Help me help you. It's the premier company right here. This is my company. Big things coming soon. I'm bringing on some partners, some financial backing, some investors. Big things going on with that company. So, you know, lock in now before prices go up.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I'll see y'all tonight with Uncle Hotep, 8 p.m. Hotep's been told you. Hotep and Bill.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.